Chapter 477. Lin Xian was truly furious. Did this woman think that the evil fiend temple was invincible? Did she think that she was invincible? Was she trying to act cool in front of everyone? Did she think that taking Qin Shaotian away was something to be proud of? Did she think that going against the entire world was something to be proud of? What made Lin Xian even angrier was that she was probably Qin Shaotian's backer. She must have been the one behind the evil fiend temple's assassination attempts. This woman didn't care about Qin Shaotian's life or death, but Lin Xian wasn't dead. Her mission had failed, and she hadn't fulfilled her promise. She had saved Qin Shaotian, so she was here. You're courting death. The woman in red was enraged, and a terrifying power surged toward Lin Xian. Watch out! Qin Feng, who was closest to Lin Xian, rushed over, but he was pushed away by another wave of power from the woman. Lin Xian, Ling Ying, Miao Xiao Miao, and Wang Xintong, who were closest to him, rushed in front of Lin Xian. Xiao Runing and Han Chushue also moved, but they weren't fast enough. Just as the red light was about to hit the three women in front of Lin Xian, it suddenly disappeared and reappeared behind the woman. Boom! She had hit herself with her own power, and she spat out a mouthful of blood. What? When the woman in red regained her senses, she revealed a shocked expression. Then, she saw a woman in a white dress appear beside Lin Xian. That was Ling Longshui. She didn't like to appear in this kind of situation, but she had to appear. She just wore a veil. Lin Xian breathed a sigh of relief, but he looked at Ling Ying and the others in front of him, and he was very touched. At the most critical moment, the three of them had chosen to stand in front of him. Even Xiao Runing and Han Chushue had moved. It was just that they weren't as fast as them. How could this be? Lin Xian had mixed feelings. Xiao Linglong. Seeing Ling Longshui beside him, Lin Xian felt relieved. Ling Longshui looked at the woman in the red dress with her beautiful eyes. She slowly raised her hand and slapped her across the air. The crisp sound of a slap actually came from the red-dressed woman's face. She spun a few times in the air before landing on the ground. Everyone was shocked. That was the Empyrean realm. The white-dressed woman's palm strike had actually sent her flying like she was trampling on an ant. This white-dressed woman's strength was even more terrifying. If you don't scram in 3 breaths, die. Ling Longshui's words were even more domineering. The woman clenched her fists and disappeared on the spot. Thank you, senior. When the aura disappeared, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. Qin Feng hurriedly bowed. Ling Longshui glanced at Lin Xian and then disappeared. Everyone was truly overwhelmed with shock today. After experiencing such a huge melon, he actually lingered on the line between life and death for an instant, and saw a heavenly venerate, and even saw an existence that could trample on a heavenly venerate. What the F***ck? Since when did Tianhua City become a place where such powerhouses gathered? Moreover, they suddenly thought of something. The white-dressed woman who appeared later couldn't have been found by Lin Xian, right? Otherwise of course that might not be the case. This white-dressed woman might also be on the side of justice, which was why she saved the lives of Lin Xian and the others. However, Ling Longshui did not kill that person. That was because she had her own way of doing things. She would not kill people who had nothing to do with her, especially humans. However, this kind of thing could not be said for sure. Are you all right? Lin Xian then hurriedly looked at Ling Ying and the others in front of him. I'm fine. They shook their little heads. What about you? Xiao Runing touched Lin Xian's arm or something. I'm fine. Qin Feng then said. Everyone disperse. Everyone from the trial union. I'll have to trouble you to imprison Qin Shaotian first. With the deterrence of that senior just now, I believe that the people from the evil fiend temple will not dare to attack us again. Then, many people specially looked at Lin Xian a few times before Qin Shaotian was taken away. Yi and Lu Yufan hurriedly ran over from their seats in the crowd and stood beside Lin Xian as if standing beside him was enough. Qin Feng walked over and looked at Lin Xian. Do you know that woman from before? Lin Xian shook his head. I don't know her. He didn't really want to talk about this. Okay, you guys go back and rest first. The Tianwu conference has just ended and something like this has happened. Be careful. I will send people to guard your residences for the next 2 days. Just in case. Thank you, Uncle Qin. It's a small matter. Xintong, you should rest more for the next 2 days. I will inform you of what happens next. Okay. Then everyone dispersed. Qin Feng knew that Qin Shaotian had returned because of the woman in the white dress, and there was a high possibility that she knew Lin Xian. In addition, Lin Xian did indeed have a lot of very powerful martial skills, as well as never-before-seen spiritual weapons. Qin Feng felt that the possibility of the two of them being related was even higher. But he didn't say anything. Since Lin Xian didn't want to say anything, he wouldn't ask. The top priority in Lin Xian's heart was finally resolved, but he also seemed to know something. Evil Fiend Temple. Now, he and the Evil Fiend Temple should be officially irreconcilable. The woman in the red dress seemed to have a high status in the Evil Fiend Temple, but she probably wouldn't dare to make a move in a short period of time because she was intimidated by Ling Long Shui. However, she would definitely make a move. This was a very big hidden danger. Moreover, it was an extremely dangerous hidden danger, many times more dangerous than Qin Shaotian. Qin Shaotian was only relying on her power, but she could use her own power. Hurry up and go back to rest. Although this matter has been resolved perfectly, there is still the Evil Fiend Temple in the dark. The 3 great forces will definitely increase their patrols and investigations. However, you all have to be careful. Lin Xian, I'll go to your house tomorrow. Rest well today. Xiao Runing looked at everyone and said. Lin Xian nodded. Miss Xiao, I'll have to trouble you to send Fan Fan, Tong Tong and Yi off. Lin Xian said. No problem. Then. Lin Xian, you rest well. Lu Yufan said charmingly. Actually, there was no need to rest. It was supposed to be a time to celebrate, but because of the appearance of the woman in the red dress, everyone was on guard. Lin Xian was glad that he had Ling Long Shui. He was really glad. This girl didn't sleep with him for nothing. However, it was still worth celebrating. However, it was fine as long as Lin Xian knew this. Evil Fiend Temple. Little Chusha, you should go back too. Han Chusha nodded slightly. Lin Xian really felt that he didn't know this group of girls for nothing. At that juncture, other than Yi and Lu Yufan who were far away, the rest had to help him block. It was really heaven-defying for a man to be able to live like this, but Lin Xian really felt that he wasn't a man. However, he knew that Ling Long Shui was here, so Lin Xian wasn't afraid or worried that something would happen to them. However, he was worried that in the future, if they still made the same choice and Ling Long Shui wasn't here, what would they do? Chapter 478. Although Lin Xian was very touched, he really hoped that it would be him instead of anyone else, especially Ling Ying and the others, who would help him block the attack. Perhaps at that time, Ling Ying and Lin Xian felt the same way too. They did not wish to see Lin Xian get hurt, they would rather it be themselves. But in reality, this was not a good thing. If it happened again, Lin Xian and Lin Xian would take the blame for them. They did take the blame, but if something really happened, the one who would be heartbroken would be the person he protected for a lifetime. Anyway, Lin Xian did not want to do anything else. He wanted to go home, take a shower, have a good meal to celebrate, and then have sex with Ling Ying. That's right. Let's go back too. Lin Xian looked at Ling Ying and said. The fact that they were living together was not a secret. Of course, it was not a secret among their friends, but outsiders still did not know. Then I'll go back too. I'll go see Sister Chanxian. Miao Xiaomiao said to Lin Xian. Go. Also, help me say a word of thanks to Sister Chanxian. Lin Xian said. Got it. Miao Xiaomiao also left reluctantly. Miss Xiao. Lin Xian called out to Xiao Runing. What? Xiao Runing looked at Lin Xian in surprise. Then, she saw Lin Xian's sly smile and immediately understood something. Miss Xiao, I got first place in the Tianwu tournament. Lin Xian grinned. I know. You're great. Xiao Runing then quickly left with Lu Yufan and Yi. Seeing Xiao Runing running away, Lin Xian could not help but laugh in his heart. Come, let's go home as well. I reckon we'll have to spend quite a bit of time explaining things to little fairy. Lin Xian looked at Ling Ying and said, since this matter was related to Linya must be very strange. On that night 3 years ago, Lin Xian was already dead, but Lin Xian, who was far away on Earth, came over. Therefore he was not hospitalized. There were no signs of injury. At most there was some blood. However, when Linya woke up, she did not know anything. Therefore, Lin Xian knew that Linya was very curious. She must be eager to know about this matter. Although Linya didn't call Lin Xian believed that Linya should be on her way home now. On the way home, Lin Xian and Ling Ying walked side by side. They didn't take a car and just walked home. It wasn't too far. Why didn't you tell me more about these things? Ling Ying said quietly. Lin Xian smiled and said, there's no need for that. It's fine as long as I know it. Fortunately, the heavens blessed you 3 years ago. Ling Ying also felt lucky. Without Lin Xian, they might not have been able to live, let alone be together. Blessed. Lin Xian didn't know. Maybe it was because that was the first time Qin Shaotian made a move. He wasn't very mature and didn't kill Linya. Lin Xian died, which corresponded to Linya's heart dying. However, the other world's Lin Xian came. Perhaps the heavens really did bless them. I don't know. Ling Ying shook her head and asked, what's the matter? Regarding Qin Shaotian, when the time comes, you and Zhang Tian will have the right to punish him. He will definitely die. However, what's the deal with Sister Lin Ya's physique that you mentioned? Lin Xian said. His martial skill can not only seize the power of the ice attribute, but it can also seize the ice attribute's special physique for his own use. Ling Ying slightly muttered. I've heard of special physiques before. I also know a few people with special physiques. Did Sister Lin Ya have an ice attribute physique before? Lin Xian nodded. That's right, an ice attribute physique. Didn't you notice that little fairy has no attribute? Hearing Lin Xian's words, Ling Ying finally realized. That's right. She really has no attribute. Little fairy's ice attribute physique should be at the top of the entire continent. Her physique can double her cold power. You can imagine how strong it is. At the same level, her cold power can double the opponent's. That's basically a one-sided battle. Back then, Qin Shaotian seized little fairy's physique. However, that special physique didn't belong to him. He did become a genius at controlling ice overnight, but in the end, he couldn't unleash the true strength of this physique. Then can it be taken back? Ling Ying hurriedly asked. This was also what Lin Xian was very concerned about. Should be possible. Since it can be taken away, it can be taken back. However, I still don't understand what a special physique is. Is it just some kind of power or something? A physique should be a special physique, right? But if it's a special physique, why would it be taken away? So it shouldn't be. Lin Xian didn't know much about physiques. He felt that perhaps he could ask Ling Longshui. She definitely knew. Let's go back first. I'll go back and cook a feast. Ling Ying said faintly. No, give me a slap first. Slap your sister. Scram. Ling Ying rolled his eyes at Lin Xian in annoyance, then quickened his pace. And today Tianhua City was in an uproar. It was precisely because of Qin Shaotian's matter that the topic was. Did you watch the live broadcast? Do you know that B** starred Qin Shaotian? As for the Qin family, they had directly become the target of public criticism. The Qin family's company, villa, and so on had all been thrown trash by various people. There were even people who splashed feces on them. Everyone was blaming the Qin family for raising such a scum. Humanity was in a critical moment, and everyone should be united against a common enemy. Qin Shaotian's actions and the people from the evil fiend hall had come to save him. Everyone knew about his relationship with the evil fiend Hall, so they naturally hated him. What they hated the most was that before this, he had been set up as a gentleman in everyone's eyes, but in reality, he was a hypocritical mask. Everyone was really grateful to Lin Xian for helping them catch such a scum, but at the same time, they also felt sad for Lin Xian. After all, he was someone who had been tortured by Qin Shaotian, but fortunately he was fine now. Perhaps they were even more impressed. 3 years of enduring and investigating thoroughly. In the end they had finally caught him, and at the same time they had become so strong. Of course, the Qin family had repeatedly denied that they had anything to do with the evil fiend Hall. They had repeatedly emphasized that they did not know about Qin Shaotian's matters, but the world had maintained a skeptical attitude. They probably did not believe that the son of a large family was such a person. Could he really become like this without the guidance of any family? Unfortunately, there was no evidence. When they returned home, just as Lin Xian had expected, Linya had returned home. Little Xian. Seeing Lin Xian and Ling Ying return, Linya hurriedly stood up from the sofa and walked over. Her eyes were filled with doubt. Lin Xian smiled, then lightly patted Linya's shoulder. I know little fairy has a lot of questions. Let's talk while we eat, okay? No, if you don't tell me now, I won't have the stomach to eat. Linya shook her head and said seriously. Chapter 479. Lin Xian helplessly explained everything to Linya. Of course he couldn't tell her the truth, but he could at least let Linya understand. But, why don't I remember anything? Linya only remembered that when she woke up, Lin Xian had blood at the corner of his mouth. She asked him what happened, but Lin Xian brushed her off. Later, when they went to the hospital for a checkup, they found that he was fine, so she didn't think too much about it. She didn't even know when people came to her house or what happened. That memory was gone. It's not that you don't remember, you don't have any memory of it at all. You fainted. Then you. Maybe I'm a guy so I can hold on for a while so I know a little. Linya bit her red lips slightly. I'm sorry, I didn't know that you were still. Linya thought that Lin Xian was doing pretty well, except for the fact that he didn't have a system at that time. But she really didn't know about these things. She really didn't know that Lin Xian was running around every day for this. Lin Xian pulled Linya's small hand and said gently, Don't say sorry to me, you didn't do anything wrong. Plus, this is what I should do. Linya felt very guilty. Ling Ying didn't interrupt their conversation, and quietly returned to his room to chat with Han Chushue on the phone. It's fine now, I'm thinking if I can get your special body back. No need, it's fine now. Linya really didn't want to trouble Lin Xian. Silly, you're afraid of troubling me. Then who else in this world wouldn't you be afraid of troubling me? Lin Xian's words touched Linya's heart. Okay, I'm hungry. I've been fighting outside for a whole 24 hours, and I've eaten all the biscuits you made for me. I want to eat the feast you made now. Lin Xian gently pinched Linya's pink cheeks and smiled. Okay, I'll make it for you. Wait. Lin Xian then held her pretty face and kissed her on the lips. Kissing a non-girlfriend big sister is considered a scumbag behavior. Scumbag value plus 500,000. Linya quickly pushed Lin Xian away and guiltily looked at Ling Ying's room. Luckily she closed the door. Lin Xian snickered. How exciting. I'm going to cook. Linya combed her bangs in a panic and ran away with a red face. Lin Xian revealed a smile. If this kind of life was just like this, without the threats of the outside world, without anything, really, how great would that be? But that was just wishful thinking. He thought that after dealing with Qin Shaotian, Lin Xian would only have Zhao Mengyue, who was hiding in the dark, and now the evil fiend shrine. However, even without the scene on the stage, Lin Xian had already formed a grudge with the evil fiend shrine. It could be seen that the evil fiend shrine wanted to protect Qin Shaotian. Even if he didn't insult that person, bringing Qin Shaotian to justice was still an offense. So it was nothing. Huff! Lin Xian let out a long sigh. Evil Fiend Shrine. The Evil Fiend Shrine must be hidden very deeply. Otherwise, how could the Evil Fiend Shrine still exist under the pressure of the three major forces? But the Evil Fiend Shrine must be in a corner of a human city. Lin Xian realized that he had to make himself stronger. No, he had the urge to give himself a big force. Once, Lin Xian said that he didn't want to join any forces, nor did he want to have any forces. But his plans couldn't keep up with the changes. Relying on his own strength, he really wasn't enough. Not at all. Even if he had the strength, it still wasn't enough. He needed a force. He really needed a force now, a force that he could use, and not just join the three major forces to gain their protection. That wasn't enough. He needed a force of his own that would listen to everything he said and be loyal to him. In short, this force could protect everyone around him without any complaints or regrets. But it was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. But Lin Xian really felt that there was a chance. At least if he could do it, Bing Lingyue, Ling Longshui, and Ling Longyu, these three super experts, would be the strongest in his force. Of course, the premise was that he had to get all of them first. Since Lin Xian had this idea, he needed a chance to put it into action. Today, other than the explosive news of Qin Shaotian, there was another one, and that was Ling Longshui. That time, everyone was watching the live broadcast. Of course, they saw the woman in the red dress from the Evil Fiend Temple. Simply put, she could easily take Qin Shaotian away or easily kill the tens of thousands of Tianhua Academy students in the Tianhua Academy Stadium. No matter what the situation was, no one wanted to see it happen. But at that time, everyone was in despair. Even the people watching the live broadcast were in despair. They felt that even if the woman in the red dress didn't kill the tens of thousands of people, Lin Xian, who had insulted her, would die. Lin Xian's confidants would also die, and Qin Shaotian would definitely be taken away. This was also something that they didn't want to see. But at that moment, Ling Longshui appeared. She was like a savior at that critical moment. Dressed in a white dress, she was like a fairy. She had a noble aura, and her every movement had an air of elegance about her. She had defeated a heavenly venerable realm expert with just a raise of her hand, instantly winning over everyone. For a moment, she was called a fairy sister by the world. Really, at that moment, she really looked like a fairy sister. Luckily, she was wearing a veil. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to go out and have fun. Finished chatting, Ling Ying walked out of the room and glanced at Lin Xian. Yeah. Is Sister Lin Ye cooking? I'll go help. You rest. Ling Ying then hurried over. Lin Xian then walked into his room. He took out his phone and dialed Ling Longshui's number. What's the matter? Ling Longshui's emotionless and slightly cold voice came from the phone. Nothing much. I just wanted to thank you. Then Ling Longyu's voice came from the other end. Saying thank you is so hypocritical. Where's the gift? I don't want anything else. Just take out that treasure that can increase the power of space. Lin Xian. All right, I'll give it to you. Lin Xian was really grateful to Ling Longshui. Without her, Qin Shaotian would have escaped. Without her, even if they couldn't escape, Ling Ying and the rest would have died. Well, Ling Longshui rejected. Alu. That's that. I helped you because I still owe you a favor. You increased my space attribute to the large success stage. What I've repaid you is not enough. As for you, it has nothing to do with me. Lin Xian chuckled. Little Ling Long was really interesting. She was thinking about the sun. Sister, I've already agreed. I've already agreed. Ling Longyu was in despair. She didn't need to serve Lin Xian for 7 days. Woo-woo. Chapter 480. Lin Xian was more than happy to agree to Ling Longshui's request. However, he was a little embarrassed previously. After all, Ling Longshui had saved their lives. It was indeed inappropriate for him to mention the previous conditions to her. After all, she had saved their lives. Moreover, if it wasn't for her, Qin Shaotian would have been rescued. However, Lin Xian would definitely feel good about it. Ling Longyue would definitely be unhappy. However, Ling Longyue also knew that her sister was like this. She was just too serious. That's right, that's the way she was. Even if there were benefits, or even easier ways to solve a problem, she wouldn't choose to do so. She would say things that would give her a headache every time she heard it. Oh my God. By the way, Xiao Linglong, actually, I'm calling because I need your help with something. V. Do you know about special body constitutions? Lin Xian asked. Actually, Linglong Shui was a little silly to ask this question. Of course, she knew about it. Linglong Shui walked to the balcony. Sister Bing, look at her. She ran away after making a call. Ling Longyue pointed at Linglong Shui, who was walking to the balcony, and said unhappily, "She must have some unspeakable secret with that bastard Lin Xian." Ling Longyue gritted her teeth. Of course, she wasn't angry at Linglong Shui. She was angry at Lin Xian. A lowly human dared to order her sister around. Her sister was a void fox. The most powerful void fox. Ah! Why? How infuriating! What unspeakable secret could your sister have with Lin Xian? Bing Lingyue smiled gently, then rubbed her hair and said, "Don't worry. But I've never seen my sister like this. Even if it's someone stronger than her, she wouldn't be afraid. If she doesn't like it, then so be it. But now, after all, Lin Xian has helped your sister a lot. It's not like you don't know your sister. She doesn't want to accept other people's help, and if she accepts other people's help, she'll do her best to repay it, right?" Ling Longyue nodded. That was true. In fact, Bing Lingyue knew more than that. Although Linglong Shui didn't say much, as Linglong Shui's good friend, they spent time together every day. Bing Lingyue probably knew more about Linglong Shui than Linglong Shui in certain aspects. "Lin Xian, you scoundrel." Ling Longyue was unhappy. No matter what, she could only point the finger at Lin Xian. Then, she took an apple in her hand and vented her anger. However, if Lin Xian knew that Ling Longyue was like this, he would be happy. Although Ling Longyue didn't have a good impression of Lin Xian, she still paid a lot of attention to Lin Xian. Maybe it wasn't to the point of being curious. But when a guy chased a girl, he was most afraid of the girl ignoring him. Like Ling Longyue, she hated Lin Xian. But she knew that she didn't hate him too much. She didn't hate him. Anyway, this situation was good for Lin Xian. On the other side, Lin Xian asked his question. Physique is determined at birth. Its special effect comes from a special power derived from the body. Lin Xian frowned. In other words, physique isn't just pure power. That's right. Physique is the body. But that Qin Shaotian took away little fairy's ice physique 3 years ago. According to you, physique is the innate power of the body. How could he take away her physique? Linglong Shui said softly. That means to say, he only took away all the power derived from your sister's physique. This power changed his own physique to achieve an effect similar to your sister's physique. But the difference is huge. But her original physique still exists. Since her original physique still exists, why doesn't little fairy have the ice attribute? Linglong Shui explained. Her physique still exists, but the power and ice attribute in her body are gone. Even if her physique is still here, there isn't a trace of ice attribute for her to cultivate. More ice attribute spiritual power is produced in her body. Naturally, it's the same as a normal physique. Lin Xian was enlightened. Lin Ya's physique was still there. How could a person's physique be taken away? Even if you cut her flesh for blood, it wouldn't work. It turned out that Qin Shaotian had absorbed all the ice attribute and special ice attribute energy derived from Lin Ya's physique. It was just like hematopoietic stem cells. As long as you have a little bit, you can create more and more. But once you don't have it, you can't create any more. But this didn't mean that Qin Shaotian's sins were any lesser. Course not. The meaning was the same. Then how do we get little fairy's attributes back? Lin Xian asked. It's actually very simple. We can use the same method to reabsorb the ice attribute energy from his body. There's also another method. Ling Yu is a powerful ice attribute cultivator. Let Ling Yu help your sister transfer some ice attribute energy. As long as she has some ice attribute energy, with her physique and cultivation, it won't take long for her to return to normal. So it's that simple. If I had known, I would have asked Chu Xue or Miss Xiao to transfer some ice attribute energy to Little Fairy. She would have been able to cultivate the ice attribute long ago. You think it's that simple? Ling Long Xue said. Alu. Ling Long Xue then said, I said it's simple because Ling Yu is here. If you want to do it, you need to be at least in the heavenly venerable realm to be 100% sure. Also, you need to have a strong control over ice. If you make a mistake, your body will be frozen instantly. Even if you're in the domain realm, the success rate is less than 50%. Also, it's not just the attribute energy that's loose. You won't understand even if I tell you now. You'll understand when you reach a higher realm. It's not that simple. You need to be in the heavenly venerable realm. Lin Xian let out a long sigh. Luckily he only found out now. Otherwise he would really have to let someone else try. It's actually very simple to make use of that Qin something Tian's cultivation technique. But to you, it's even simpler to get Ling Yu to help. What do you think? Lin Xian pondered for a moment. Alright, then help me tell little Bing Bing. When she's free, she'll help my little fairy derive her ice attribute power. Ling Long Xue replied with a soft N. Hee thanks. Love you. Lin Xian chuckled. After hearing Lin Xian's words, Ling Long Xue directly hung up the phone. Her beautiful face was slightly flushed. She was a girl who had not experienced many emotions and was very serious. Lin Xian's love you was really a joke. But Ling Long Xue didn't think it was a joke. Because she had too little experience, she really didn't understand, so she thought Lin Xian was really saying that. As for why she was blushing, she probably didn't understand even more. Perhaps it was because of the sudden sentence that came out of nowhere. Chapter 481. At home, Lin Xian was stunned when he heard the beeping sound from his phone. That's weird. Why did you suddenly hang up on me? Lin Xian scratched his head in confusion. But that wasn't important anymore. He was very happy now because Lin Xian knew that Lin Ya's physique could be recovered. Moreover, it was 100% recovered. If that was the case, Lin Xian's other concern would be solved. As for Lin Ya's cultivation, Lin Xian was considering it. In this situation, Lin Xian really needed to let Lin Ya cultivate. Even if she didn't go to the beast domain to raise her realm, she had to learn how to fight like Wang Xintong, including martial arts. Little fairy. Lin Xian walked into the kitchen and leaned against the wall as he looked at the two beautiful ladies who were cooking in the kitchen. What? Lin Ya turned her head and looked at Lin Xian. In the future, you can put aside the company's matters. Lin Xian said. What's wrong? Lin Ya asked curiously. Ling Ying also looked at Lin Xian curiously. You have to cultivate. Lin Ya was slightly stunned. She actually understood why Lin Xian said this. Lin Ya nodded slightly. She didn't refuse. She actually thought about it a lot. Just purely running the company might not be enough for her and Lin Xian. Lin Ya knew that Lin Xian would probably have enemies outside. If she continued like this, besides her realm, she wouldn't be able to help Lin Xian. Instead, she would become a burden to Lin Xian. In fact, even if Lin Xian didn't say it today, Lin Ya already had a plan. She definitely thought more than Lin Xian. That's great. Sister Lin Ya, let me teach you. Ling Ying said expectantly. In fact, with Ling Ying teaching Lin Ya, Lin Xian was relieved. After all, Ling Ying's combat strength was definitely at the top among his peers. Under the same level of strength, without using any attributes or skills, Lin Xian didn't have much confidence in beating Ling Ying. And thank you, little Ying. Lin Ya didn't refuse. It's nothing. Ling Ying smiled. Then it's settled. Little Ying, you teach little fairy some fighting skills. Ling nodded. No. With Ling Ying's strength, he could bring Linya to the Sky Martial Court to cultivate. Moreover, there was still Xiao Runing in the Sky Martial Court. That was why it was great to have a backdoor. Xiao Runing could also teach Linya. They were friends to begin with. Moreover, Xiao Runing had the ice attribute. Perhaps she could even give Linya a few powerful ice attribute martial techniques. The next morning, Ling Ying brought Linya to the Sky Martial Court to find a quiet place to cultivate. Although Linya's attribute had yet to recover, fighting skills and attribute strength were two different things. In the afternoon, Lin Xian received a message from Qin Feng. Then he went to the enforcement union. On this day, everyone was very concerned about Qin Shaotian. However, Qin Shaotian was currently locked up in the enforcement union. No one knew what was going on. Because of this incident, in addition to the fact that Lin Xian had saved people twice before, many people knew about Lin Xian even though they had never seen him before. Even among the three major forces, some of Lin Xian's actions had already been treated as a textbook example for them to respond to. Uncle Qin. Outside the enforcement union, Lin Xian saw Qin Feng who was waiting for him. The more Qin Feng looked at Lin Xian, the more he liked him. This kid was still young, but he had done many things that he, Qin Feng, could not even do at the domain realm. If there were more of such geniuses, he felt that humanity would be saved. Qin Feng patted Lin Xian's shoulder and said, "Let's go. Zhang Tian is already inside. Moreover, there are few experts here. They came especially for you." "Alu. For me." Lin Xian was stunned. As they spoke, they entered the secret enforcement union. "And you'll know when you get there." Then they arrived at the enforcement union. This was the second time Lin Xian came here. The first time was for Wang Jichao, who was also killed by Lin Xian. The second time was for Qin Shaotian. The enforcement union felt that Lin Xian was simply a genius. If he could join the enforcement union based on his two achievements, he would definitely be able to make great contributions to humanity. Young Master Lin. Zhang Tian was sitting in the hall. When he saw Lin Xian, he immediately stood up and greeted him. "Chief Commander Qin." Zhang Tian bowed. Qin Feng waved his hand. "I'll go in first. Lin Xian, everyone is inside. It's similar to last time. If you have anything to say, you can talk first." After saying that, he walked into a room with a steel door. Lin Xian knew this room. The last time he came here, there was a single-person cell inside. Last time it was Wang Jichao. This time it was Qin Shaotian. "He didn't go in?" Lin Xian asked. Zhang Tian shook his head. "Not yet. I'm waiting for you." Lin Xian smiled. "Why? You're still waiting for me?" Zhang Tian scratched his head. "I'm afraid that I can't control my emotions. With you around I can feel more at ease." Lin Xian, "Damn. I beg you don't talk like that. It'll make people misunderstand." Zhang Tian was stunned for a moment. Then he couldn't help but laugh. Of course, his laugh was a little forced. Although the matter had been resolved and the culprit had been imprisoned, it was something to be happy about. There were also some who cried tears of joy. But after calming down, the sadness in their hearts would naturally surge to their hearts. "Young Master Lin, I really have to thank you for this matter. My parents also want to thank you. I owe you a life-saving favor. In the future, if you need my help, I, Zhang Tian, will not hesitate to climb a mountain of swords or plunge into a sea of flames." All right. "Don't talk about climbing a mountain of swords or plunging into a sea of flames. Do you think I'll really let you go?" Lin Xian smiled. I'm serious." Lin Xian shook his head. "No need. I also want to thank you for this matter. I'm helping you and you're helping me." Lin Xian felt that Zhang Tian was someone he could get along with. At the very least, he must be a person who valued friendship and righteousness. "But I still owe you a favor." Lin Xian smiled and patted his shoulder. "Let's go in first." Then the two of them walked to the metal door. The metal door opened automatically, and the two of them walked in. Hello everyone." As soon as Lin Xian entered, He saw more than 10 pairs of eyes looking at him. It was really similar to the time when Wang Jichao looked at him. There were also a few familiar faces. This time there were more familiar faces than before. What an interesting brat. A beautiful woman wearing a beige coat couldn't help but laugh when she heard Lin Xian's strange words. Lin Xian glanced at her. In fact, after seeing beauties like Lin Ya and Ling Long Shui, Lin Xian's immunity to beauties was extremely high. However, this woman was different. She was especially beautiful. Her figure was also very good, and her skin was also very white. It was a kind of mature beauty. She seemed to be around 27 or 28 years old. But she was very, very beautiful. A woman at this age was probably at her most beautiful. Chapter 482. The woman was tall and her eyes were as cold as a clear spring on a snowy mountain. Her chestnut-colored hair was casually draped over her shoulders, and a few strands of hair naughtily climbed up her exquisite face. Her body was curvaceous and extremely alluring. It could be seen that she deliberately wore loose clothes and a jacket, but it still couldn't hide her figure. This was a mature beauty. Actually, she was only 4 or 5 years older than Lin Ya and Xiao Runing, but she was even more beautiful. No, she wasn't just mature. She looked like she was smiling gently, but there was a kind of charm in her bones. Lin Xian had seen too many beauties. There were all kinds of beauties. Yi, the youthful Lu Yufan, the cute and arrogant Miao Xiao Miao, Ling Longyue, the cold as ice Han Chuxue, Ling Long Shui, the gentle and lovely Linya, and Bing Lingyue. Of course, they only had a rough idea of their personalities. For example, Xiao Runing. Should she be cold? Or charming? Or gentle? It was hard to say. Ling Ying was also very special. He could be cold, arrogant, violent and gentle. But this woman had a kind of charm in her bones. Seductive might not be able to describe her at all. She felt like a vixen. She could casually make a move that was flirtatious. She could casually say something that could make a man go crazy. Qin Feng said to Lin Xian, "Lin Xian, this is the executive officer of the temple." What? Lin Xian didn't know much about these things. Qin Feng smiled helplessly and walked to Lin Xian's side. Then he whispered in his ear, "The executive officer of the temple is one of the most powerful people in the temple. Remember, it's the entire temple, not just a certain city. Her power is 108,000 times greater than mine. She's the real boss." Lin Xian. Oh my God, this is bad. Qin Feng had a lot of power. He was the commander of the temple in Tianhua City. However, this woman was the executive officer of the temple. The name executive officer was indeed very powerful. What was this equivalent to? One of the top 500 companies in the world had tens of thousands of physical stores. Qin Feng was equivalent to the manager of one of the stores, and this woman was one of the bosses of these tens of thousands of physical stores. This was the feeling. Oh my God, this can't happen. This woman's beauty was in no way inferior to Xiao Runing. She was an absolute beauty with a noble status, but as she sat there, Lin Xian did not feel any kind of oppressive feeling from her. On the contrary, the corners of her mouth curled up in a kind of intimate smile. In short, I miss the sun. You have triggered the mission. Successful confession of love to a big sister. Mission time limit, 3 months. Mission punishment. Level will be reset to 0. Mission reward. Permanently unlocking an attribute, excluding space, and unlocking the 3rd system store. Lin Xian. The sudden system notification made Lin Xian confused. The F***CK. She was indeed quite beautiful, but could the system not trigger any more missions? Lin Xian was exhausted. There were still so many unsolved problems at home. Why did it trigger again? The worst part was that the mission's punishment was still a level reset. What the F***CK was this? More importantly, the mission reward was hard to reject. Permanently unlocking an attribute, excluding space, was already very invincible. Wouldn't Lin Xian feel great if he permanently unlocked the dark attribute? Moreover, it would unlock the third system store. Now that he had unlocked 2, the second store already had attribute increasing potions and heaven-defying items like the starry fruit. Then what about the third store? It would definitely be even more perverse. Oh, she was both upset and happy. What was this situation? Lin Xian glanced at her. Oh my God, she was indeed quite beautiful. Everyone was beautiful, but meeting a beauty of the same level and with a completely different aura was a bit difficult. Charming, seductive. Greetings, seniors. Then Lin Xian and Zhang Tian greeted one after another. Lin Xian, I've heard of this name long ago. Seeing you today, you are indeed a good young man. An old man looked at Lin Xian with a satisfied smile. Although they didn't know him, they were definitely satisfied with the things that Lin Xian had done. Yes, it is a blessing for us humans to have such a hero in the younger generation. Another old man sighed. Seniors, you are too kind. I was just a bit lucky. That girl stared at Lin Xian, her lips curling into a seductive smile. Lin Xian stole a glance at her. Was this girl just staring at him without blinking? Even if he was handsome, she couldn't keep staring at him, right? She would feel embarrassed. That was why it was said that every girl's personality was completely different. This also led to their different styles of doing things. Take Ling Longshui for example. She would never stare at Lin Xian all the time. At most, she would glance at Lin Xian when she was talking, but it would only be a glance. She wouldn't even look at him. But this girl couldn't wait to stare at Lin Xian. Why did Lin Xian feel like he was a cute little bunny that was being stared at by the big bad wolf? Strange, shouldn't he be the big bad wolf? Miss Murong, he is the Lin Xian you were looking for. Lin Xian, I have already told you about her identity. Miss Murong came here specifically for you. Qin Feng said. Qin Feng was whispering to Lin Xian in front of everyone. Everyone knew what they were talking about, but why did he have to whisper in front of everyone? Because it wasn't good to whisper in front of so many people, even if everyone knew what he was whispering about. Murong Qing looked at Lin Xian, the corners of her mouth slightly raised. Lin Xian, nice to meet you. My name is Murong Qing. Nice to meet you, senior. Lin Xian said politely. Although he had triggered a mission, this person was still a person of high status in the holy sanctum. Murong Qing stood up and smiled. No need. Calling me senior makes me sound old. Just call me sister. Lin Xian. Oh my God, this is bad. This Murong Qing was obviously trying to get closer to Lin Xian. Lin Xian obviously knew. Why? Was she trying to rope him into the holy sanctum? Nice to meet you, sister. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile as he said sweetly. Everyone. What the F***CK? Was this guy so shameless? He really called her sister. Logically speaking, even if he wanted to call her sister, he would just smile bitterly. But he didn't hesitate and even called her a bootlicker. Murong Qing was obviously stunned. She didn't expect Lin Xian to call her sister without hesitation. He was indeed something. A handsome man stood beside Murong Qing. He looked like he was only 2 years older than Lin Xian. When he heard Lin Xian call her sister like a bootlicker, he laughed disdainfully in his heart. He thought that this remote third-tier city could produce some amazing young talent, but it turned out to be the case. He thought too much. Chapter 483. Now, everyone had an indescribable opinion of Lin Xian. Even Qin Feng and Zhang Nan, who knew him, were stunned. How could you be so shameless? Normally, it would be fine for you to call her sister. But with your tone and expression, wasn't it a little too much? But how could they say it? Qin Feng did not think that Lin Xian was a bootlicker. He did not think that Lin Xian would suddenly become like this after hearing about Murong Qing's identity. Although he had known Lin Xian for a long time and knew that he did not have a strong background, Lin Xian's actions gave Qin Feng the impression that he was not such a person. Moreover, previously in the Tianhua Academy's gymnasium, the lady in the white dress who had suddenly appeared to save them all clearly had some kind of relationship with Lin Xian. course they might not be related. The lady in the white dress could be a strong human expert. However, considering what Lin Xian had said to Qin Feng, he would ask a friend to prevent Qin Xiaotian from escaping using a spatial spiritual device. Such a friend would naturally be of the spatial attribute. Only spatial attribute could restrain spatial attribute and distort spatial attribute. Hence, Qin Feng would link the lady in the white dress with Lin Xian's friend. Hence, Qin Feng felt that Lin Xian was definitely not a bootlicker. It was more likely that he was doing it on purpose. Although those who did not understand did not show it in their hearts, they had already disdained Lin Xian, regardless of whether they were old or young. However, Lin Xian was really doing it on purpose. He really wanted to bootlick. If this mission had not been triggered, Lin Xian would definitely not bootlick like this. However, he needed to sweetly call her sister and establish some kind of special relationship with her. Only when they had this special relationship would Lin Xian be able to court her. This D***M stupid mission. F***CK. Wait a minute. Lin Xian suddenly realized something. Murong Qing looked like she was about 27 or 28 years old. She was very, very beautiful and her figure was very good. No, it was already that kind of explosive. Lin Ya and Ling Ying had good figures, but this Murong Qing was so sexy that it could make people's noses bleed. But could she be married? Look at Xiao Runing, 24 years old. At this age, many people are already married, not to mention Murong Qing. If Murong Qing were to get married, then it would be very awkward. Murong Qing then smiled and said charmingly to Lin Xian, "Then I will recognize you as my little brother." Cough cough. Lin Xian coughed dryly then said, "That depends on what kind of feelings you have for me, and if you want to treat me well, I'm very pure." Kikik. Murong Qing couldn't help but laugh out loud. The few people beside her wiped off their cold sweat. Was this little ancestor teasing Murong Qing? What could Lin Xian do? This stupid system, it was as if it had lost its mother. Whenever it saw a beauty, it would give out a mission. Of course, Lin Xian was very willing to reward it, but couldn't it let him deal with the other girls first? He really couldn't take it anymore. Even if he was a Casanova, he still needed time, right? Especially when facing these girls who weren't the kind to be unrestrained. Also, it's fine if you trigger it, but please make the mission deadline longer. Damn it. Right now, Lin Xian had a love-hate relationship with the system. What he hated was that he simply couldn't bear the punishment from the system. Although the process of picking up girls was blissful, if there was a time limit and punishment during the process, then it wouldn't be so blissful anymore. As for the love, of course, it was the moment when he received the mission reward. So, it was very difficult. If he was a little careless, his level would be reset to 0. Damn. Of course, sister will treat you well, I will love you very much. Murong Qing couldn't help but laugh and looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. This woman was a seductress. Then I wonder why beautiful sister is looking for me. Murong Qing's big eyes revealed a touch of craftiness and mystery. When you're done, we'll have a meal and talk about it slowly. Lin Xian. Oh, wrong, I said it wrong, we'll have a meal and talk about it slowly. Murong Qing added with a smile. Why did it feel like she really wanted to say the former? Zhao Nanfeng, didn't you want to get to know Lin Xian? Here. Murong Qing moved her lips towards the handsome man beside her. Zhao Nanfeng nodded his head slightly. Originally, he wanted to get to know Lin Xian on the way. Actually, it wasn't really an acquaintance, he just wanted to learn from him. But now, he didn't want to because in his eyes, Lin Xian was beneath him. But after all, there were so many people here. Zhao Nanfeng couldn't show anything. Zhao Nanfeng. He stretched out his hand towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian. Zhao Nanfeng nodded and pulled his hand back. Lin Xian laughed inwardly. This was probably another person who thought too highly of himself. They naturally came from a big city, but Lin Xian wasn't sure where they came from, but it had nothing to do with Lin Xian. However, this person looked to be only 23 or 24 years old, and he was indeed a 4-star low realm expert. He did have the right to be arrogant. No, he didn't. Xiao Runing's real age should be about the same as his. At most, she was a little older than him, but Xiao Runing was also a teacher while cultivating. She was now also in the law realm. Lin Xian Zhao Nanfeng is an expert who has been famous for a long time. His future is limitless. At the same time, he also has the space attribute like you, but so do you. Your future is also limitless. Perhaps the two of you can become very good friends with the same goals. Qin Feng patted Lin Xian's shoulder as he spoke. Lin Xian smiled and said, "That won't do. Even if I want to think about it, Uncle Qin. How can a landowner's child and a child from a poor family play together? Young Master Nan is a landowner's child, while I'm a child from a poor family. Can't compare. I still prefer to be with young Master Zhang. After all, we're both children from poor families, right?" Lin Xian looked at Zhang Tian and smiled. Zhang Tian nodded. To Lin Xian, this kind of arrogant person wasn't suitable to make friends with at all. He couldn't make friends with him at all. He could only get along with people from his circle. Zhao Nanfeng smiled and said, "Young Master Lin, why do you think I'm a landowner's child?" Lin Xian pointed at him and said, "Although I don't know much about goods, young Master Zhang, tell me. This set of clothes adds up to at least 150,000, right?" Zhang Tian nodded. "It's probably custom-made. More than 500,000. Then look at me. Everything adds up to more than 1,000 yuan. We're definitely not from the same world. If we become friends in the future, I won't even have the money to treat young Master Nan to a meal. How can we be friends?" Lin Xian smiled. Zhao Nanfeng's eyes narrowed slightly. Murong Qing found it interesting. How could she not see that Lin Xian had no intention of being friends with Zhao Nanfeng? Why? Chapter 484. Why? Actually, it was very simple. They were not on the same side. It was also very simple to be friends with Lin Xian, as long as he was sincere. However, when Lin Xian saw Zhao Nanfeng inadvertently glance at him, Lin Xian knew that in his eyes, he was just a lowly person. Lin Xian did not care. He did not care what others thought of him, as long as he did not say or do anything. But Lin Xian only remembered it in his heart. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Zhao Nanfeng did not say anything. In other words, he was too lazy to say anything. He tacitly agreed. "Uncle Qin, where's Qin Shaotian?" Lin Xian asked. "Inside." Qin Feng pressed the remote control and a door opened. Qin Shaotian was imprisoned inside. They could see him, but Qin Shaotian could not see the people outside. "What's the situation now?" Lin Xian asked. Qin Feng said. "He didn't say anything, so he probably accepted his fate. However, we couldn't get any information from him about the evil fiend palace, or whether anyone else in the Qin family was involved in this matter. Therefore, we feel that we should directly execute him. For this kind of person, we have to be vigilant for one more day. There might be people from the evil fiend palace spying on us, so in order to avoid any trouble, we will execute him today. That's why we asked the two of you to discuss it, because you have the right to decide some things." Lin Xian pondered for a moment, then looked at Zhang Tian. "Let us decide how to execute him," Lin Xian asked. "That's right, you have the right to discuss. We will listen to your opinions. Of course, there are some that might not be suitable." "Then how about it just like Wang Jichao?" Lin Xian asked. Zhang Tian nodded. "Sure. Let him, who was once a proud son of heaven, be shouted at by everyone like a rat." Zhao Nanfeng laughed disdainfully. A proud son of heaven. This was considered a proud son of heaven. What the f*ck? Country people were indeed short-sighted. Qin Feng frowned but said, "Are you sure? You have to know that the evil fiend palace has Empyrean realm experts who want to protect him. Wouldn't exposing him be giving them a chance? Firstly, whether or not they dare to come is one question. Secondly, whether or not they dare to make a move is another question. I don't think there's any need to worry." When Qin Feng heard Lin Xian's words, He roughly understood what Lin Xian meant. All right, but only for half a day this time. Send him away before it gets dark. Lin Xian nodded. I'll go in first. Then Lin Xian and Zhang Tian walked in. Yo, isn't this young Master Qin? Why are you like this? After entering, Lin Xian looked at the chained Qin Shaotian with a smile. Qin Shaotian slowly raised his head. When he saw Lin Xian, his eyes instantly turned bloodshot, and his expression turned savage. Lin Xian. Lin Xian. Father is here. No, no, no. Father doesn't want a son like you. Do you? Lin Xian asked Zhang Tian. Zhang Tian shook his head. I think he's quite suitable to be a dog at my door. He's good at guarding the door. Lin Xian. Let me go if you have the guts. I'll fight you one-on-one. Qin Shaotian said angrily. TSK, TSK, TSK. Lin Xian moved closer. Bang. Following that, he punched him in the face, causing his teeth and blood to fly out. In your King dreams. How comfortable is it for me to CK you like this? Why would I fight you one-on-one? One-on-one my ass. Bang bang bang. Lin Xian's fists landed on Qin Shaotian's head one after another. In a short time, Qin Shaotian's entire body had turned into a pig's head. His nose was bruised and his face was swollen, covered in blood. Of course the people outside could see it, but they didn't stop it. There was no need to stop it. For the evil fiend shrine or martial artists who harmed humans, there was no need to show them much mercy. Such people were more abominable than demonic beasts. They were treated like demonic beasts. Inside, Lin Xian and Zhang Tian beat Qin Shaotian half to death. He couldn't even speak. At this time the two of them walked out. Uncle Qin, take him away. Qin Feng nodded. Then a few people pushed Qin Shaotian out. Let's go. Lin Xian glanced at Zhang Tian and then looked at Murong Qing. Beautiful sister, I'll be leaving first. Wait. The corner of Murong Qing's mouth slightly curled, and then she threw a business card to Lin Xian. My phone number is on it. Call me when you're done. Sister will bring you to a room. Pui to eat. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose, then nodded and walked away. Miss Murong, do you really value this Lin Xian so much? Zhao Nanfeng was puzzled. This Lin Xian had some strength and also had a space attribute. That was true, and he did have some achievements. But it wasn't enough to make Murong Qing come specially. Who was Murong Qing? Zhao Nanfeng knew all too well that even though he had addressed Murong Qing as his teacher, it was only to get closer to her. Murong Qing had once unintentionally taught him something, so in order to get closer to her, he addressed her as his teacher. In fact, the two of them were not that close. This time he had followed Murong Qing here. Of course it was not for Lin Xian. As for Murong Qing's identity, she was the executive officer of the temple. In simple terms, there were 5 people with the highest status in the temple. Murong Qing was one of them. The executive officer was basically the highest status among the 5. Murong Qing was the sister of the founder of the temple, Murong Tian. She didn't take this position because of blood relations. She really had the ability to climb up with her own strength. No, to be precise, it was her brother, Murong Tian, who had repeatedly asked her to take up this position. The founder of the temple, the 3 major forces on the continent that protected humanity. They were also the 3 strongest forces. Murong Tian had founded the temple, which basically meant that he was one of the 3 people with the highest status in the continent. Murong Qing was also invited by him time and time again. It was enough to see how terrifying this woman was. Murong Qing took a sip of tea and nodded slightly. But, in Tiandu, other than the space attribute, everything else about him is very ordinary. He can't be considered a particularly outstanding person. There's no need for Master Murong to come personally. It doesn't matter. Just treat it as a vacation. It's suffocating to stay in that place all day. Murong Qing then looked at Zhao Nanfeng and said, Aren't you going to find your little girlfriend? Oh. Zhao Nanfeng said awkwardly. It's not. It should be soon, right? Oh. Then this student will take his leave first. Zhao Nanfeng then walked away. Murong Qing's lips curled up slightly, revealing a charming smile. Admittedly, Lin Xian's space attribute and his battle achievements in Tianhua City were eye-catching. But in Tiandu it was really nothing. Only the space attribute attracted people's attention. But what really attracted her and the temple's attention was the attribute increasing medicine that Lin Xian had taken out previously, including things that increased vitality and mental strength. It was these things. On the continent, she and her brother had never heard of such a godly item. But it actually appeared in his hands. How could they not pay attention? Chapter 485. At this moment, Qin Shaotian was being pushed out by a group of experts like a cage. He was being paraded through the streets. The reason why these experts were present was because they knew that there was a heavenly venerable behind Qin Shaotian. If she came, it would be bad. However, Lin Xian still allowed Ling Longshui to come just in case. Ling Longshui, and Bing Lingyue were eating delicious food in a Western restaurant not far away. They could see the situation on the other side through the huge glass wall. This is so infuriating, so infuriating. What does this Lin Xian think we are? He orders us around all day long. Ling Longyu stabbed her steak with her fork. It's fine for friends to help friends. Besides, he helped us a lot. Ling Longshui said indifferently and then took a bite of her steak. Humph. Ling Longyu obviously knew that, but she just couldn't stand it. Although she knew that Lin Xian had helped the Void Fox and this was a huge favor, when she thought about how Lin Xian was just a lowly human and how her sister was so noble, being ordered around by him, she felt angry. Just treat it as coming out to eat. Bing Lingyue said softly. On the other side of the road in a familiar place it was a square. It was also the square where Wang Jichao was previously. Qin Shaotian was pushed here and there were more and more people around him. Qin Shaotian was laughing hysterically in the cage. Yes, it would be the same for anyone who went from being a so-called heaven's pride to their current state. Disgusting. Everyone throw him. Countless items were thrown onto Qin Shaotian's body. This was the price he deserved. Indeed, he was in a very sorry and miserable state now, but he deserved everything. Thinking about those people who were killed by him, did those people deserve more than death? Thinking of this, no one had any sympathy for him. Moreover, this kind of behavior was the most infuriating. Miss Xiao. Lin Xian waved at a few figures not far away, and they walked over. Xiao Runing, Han Chuxue, Miao Xiaomiao, Wang Chanqian, Wang Xintong, Yi Lu Yufan and Linya. They had come here together as a team. Where's Ling Ying? Lin Xian asked in surprise. She has a friend coming over, so she went to entertain her friend. Han Chuxue said softly. That's a pity. I won't be able to see such a satisfying scene. Lin Xian shrugged slightly. Linya walked to Lin Xian's side and silently looked at the figure in the cage. Little fairy, do you still remember? Lin Xian asked gently. Linya shook her head. It's all right. Actually, it was best that Linya didn't remember. I didn't expect that the person I had high hopes for was actually such a person. He even almost got you and Linya into trouble. Xiao Runing looked at the figure in the distance again and revealed an angry expression. That's why Miss Zhao's eyes aren't experienced enough. Lin Xian joked with a smile. Xiao Runing rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. I'm afraid that other than you guys, no one else could see through his hypocrisy, right? Xiao Runing said helplessly. But fortunately he was brought to justice. Otherwise there would be endless trouble. I still have to thank Sister Chanqian. Lin Xian looked at Wang Chanqian and thanked her. Wang Chanqian smiled and shook her head. It's fine. It's what friends should do. What about me? Miao Xiaomiao asked Lin Xian. You. What use are you? Miao Xiaomiao was speechless. Wang Xintong and the others tried to hold back their laughter. Lin Xian, how will he be executed? Yi asked. Maybe he'll be beaten to death by these people. What's wrong? Lin Xian said and then looked at Yi. Yi shook her head. It's nothing. I'm just a little emotional. Maybe there are many people around us like him. Feels like even if we live in the city, it's still very dangerous. Yeah. Lin Xian also sighed. So he was even more certain of his idea. He needed a force that belonged to him. Only then could he protect them. Qin Shaotian, who was in the cage, was probably delirious. Others threw things at him, but he was still laughing foolishly. Qin Shaotian seems to have gone crazy. Lu Yufan pointed and said in a charming voice. They all looked over. It's normal. With such a big difference and being paraded on the streets, it's normal for him to be respected. A pitiful person must have something hateful. Moreover, I don't think he's pitiful. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and looked into the distance. Lin Xian, you have to be careful of the Qin family. Xiao Runing suddenly thought of something and looked at Lin Xian. I know. Qin family. Regardless of whether this family was related to the evil fiend Hall or not, Qin Shaotian was still a son of the Qin family. The Qin family would not let this matter go. In other words, they would not let Lin Xian go. But how should he put it? If it was just the Qin family, Lin Xian did not think much of it. Even if the Qin family was related to the evil fiend Hall, it was nothing. Because even if they were not related, the evil fiend Hall would definitely make a move on him. If they were not related, the Qin family was not strong. I'll help you investigate the Qin family. If we can find any clues and take down the Qin family, you don't have to worry about that. Xiao Runing added. Then I'll have to trouble Miss Xiao. Xiao Runing shook her head slightly. In the distance, a person was sitting in a cafe drinking coffee. She was wearing a cap and it was buttoned very low. It was difficult to see her face, but if one was opposite her, they would be able to see it. Zhao Mingyue. Lin Xian. Zhao Mingyue's expression was somewhat ugly. She admitted that she had underestimated Lin Xian at the beginning, but she really did not expect that Lin Xian would be able to take down Qin Shaotian. Originally, she wanted to find an opportunity to make a move, but because of the woman who was called a fairy sister yesterday, she did not dare to act rashly. At this moment in the crowd, there was a woman in simple clothes looking at Qin Shaotian. She was the woman from the evil fiend Hall. She had the spatial attribute, and it was a spatial attribute that had reached the Empyrean realm. It was not that she had any feelings for Qin Shaotian, which was why she had come to save him time and time again. She admitted that she was not a good person, otherwise she would not be a member of the evil fiend Hall, but at least she knew that she was a righteous person. The Qin family had unintentionally saved her before, and she had not helped Lin Xian kill Lin Xian before, so she needed to save Qin Shaotian. This way, she could repay the Qin family's kindness. After repaying, she would no longer care about anything else. Her right hand slowly condensed a wave of power. Even if you stared at her, you would not be able to see it. You could only see her hand moving, because this was the power of space. Linglong Shui and Linglong Shui raised their heads at the same time. Chapter 486. Linglong Shui only waved her arm slightly. Those who didn't know would think that she was just picking up the drink in front of her. The woman suddenly felt something and showed a shocked expression. Then, her figure quickly disappeared. In the next moment, she arrived at an unknown place and panted. She was betting that the person didn't come. But she didn't bet right. She came. But she was curious. Why didn't she kill her? She was just trying to intimidate her, telling her not to move. Otherwise it would be hard to say. There's no other way. Although I want to repay the Qin family's kindness, there's nothing I can do when I meet such a strong person. The woman sighed softly and then walked away. She had the space attribute, so she naturally understood the space attribute very well. The space attribute released by that person crushed her, regardless of realm or anything else. Originally, she wanted to kill Lin Xian. But now, she thought about it and decided not to for the time being. That person had always been there. Perhaps she had something to do with Lin Xian. The matter here had come to an end. Qin Shaotian was killed by Zhang Tian in the end. Lin Xian also let out a sigh of relief. Qin Shaotian was finally finished. What do we do now? He asked Lin Xian. Lin Xian stretched lazily. I'm feeling relaxed. Let's go out and have a good meal. Okay. Lu Yufan and Miao Xiaomiao nodded their heads. Then they all went to have a good meal together. Lin Xian drank a lot and was a little drunk. He didn't use his power to disperse the drunkenness and was helped home by Linya and the others. What happened to Lin Xian? When they returned home, Ling Ying had just arrived. He was shocked when he saw Lin Xian. Han Chushua said, "Nothing, he's drunk." Drunk. Ling Ying froze for a moment. Qin Shaotian is dead. Ling Ying looked up and asked Han Chushua. Han Chushua nodded. Ling Ying then understood why Lin Xian was drunk. He was too tired. Perhaps he should give himself some time to relax. Sister Linya, leave it to me. Linya shook her head. I'll bring him to the room. You can chat with Chushua. Ling Ying and Linya helped Lin Xian to the bed. Linya took care of Lin Xian. Then they walked to the living room. Who came? Han Chushua asked. Don't mention it, it's so annoying. Hearing this, Ling Ying waved his hand. Tiandu. Ling Ying nodded. Yeah, he's like an idiot. He always thought that I was deeply in love with him. If it weren't for my dad's call, I would have killed him with a knife. Ling Ying said angrily. You're swearing again. Han Chushua said faintly. It's good enough that I didn't blow his head off. Let's not talk about this anymore. Can you invite a family's heavenly venerable expert over? Han Chushua roughly understood what Ling Ying meant. Ling Ying felt that the evil fiend temple might have already targeted Lin Xian. Moreover, that person was a heavenly venerable. If there was no heavenly venerable to protect him, it would be very dangerous. I don't think so. Ling Ying froze for a moment. The woman in white from before should be Lin Xian's friend. Ling Ying frowned slightly. Ling Longshui. You think so too? At that time, Ling Longshui was wearing a veil, so they couldn't be sure. Ling Ying nodded. Seems to be her. Her voice is also similar. I was wondering why there was such a familiar feeling at that time. *CK. I've long felt that this Ling Longshui was an expert, but I didn't expect her to be an expert who could crush a heavenly venerable. A great void stage expert. Ling Ying muttered to himself in surprise. She and Lin Xian. How did they meet? Han Chushua asked. I don't know. When I saw them, they seemed to already know each other, but their relationship didn't seem to be very good. I don't know what method Lin Xian used to lock up such a heaven-defying expert. Suddenly, Ling Ying thought of something. Didn't Lin Xian have that powerful space improvement potion? Could it be that he helped her improve? Owed Lin Xian a favor? Other than that, Ling Ying really couldn't think of how Lin Xian could be related to a great void stage expert. He could even get a great void stage expert to help him. He had to admit that she was very smart. This was really inconceivable. A mysterious heaven stage expert knowing a great void stage expert was already inconceivable. He could even get a great void stage expert to help him. And a great void stage expert even came to their house as a guest. At this moment, in a 5-star high-class hotel, Murong Qing had just finished showering. She was lying on the bed in her pajamas, swinging her delicate jade feet and playing with her phone. Her body couldn't be said to be good. It was exploding. It was a big cow. She was also distressed. It was quite tiring to fall down every day. Bastard. Where's your phone? Murong Qing stared at her phone. It was already the middle of the night. Didn't he say that he would ask her out after the matter with Qin Shaotian was over? It was already 11 o'clock in the morning. Damn it. Murong Qing gritted her teeth. She was actually taken advantage of. Who was she? Murong Qing. She was the only one who took advantage of others. When did she let a brat take advantage of her? She was very unhappy. Was she that unattractive? Even if it wasn't for anything else, it wouldn't be a loss to go out with a beauty like her. Hello. Murong Qing made a call. Find out Lin Xian's number for me. Hurry up. After less than a minute, a number was sent to her phone. She dialed the number and it was picked up after a while. Hello. Lin Ye picked up the phone in confusion. On the other side, Murong Qing was stunned. A woman. She called Lin Xian in the middle of the night and a woman picked up the phone. Damn it. He didn't do what he promised her and even slept with another woman. How dare he? Tell Lin Xian that if he doesn't come tomorrow, I'll abort the child. Murong Qing hung up the phone angrily after saying that. He didn't go to the appointment and even slept with a girl. I'll kill you. If Lin Xian knew about it, he would have a headache. He was too excited. After eating and drinking, he forgot about this matter. Otherwise, he would have definitely gone. On the other side, Lin Ye was stunned. Child. Then she silently glanced at Lin Xian, who was sleeping on the bed. He couldn't have gotten another girl pregnant outside, right? And from her voice, she seemed to be angry. Could it be that she dumped him? Lin Ye looked at the number. She wanted to call and ask about it, but she put down the phone in the end. Lin Xian cried out bitterly. He was still in his dreams, but he had already been tricked. What did he do wrong? Well, it did seem like it was his fault for not going to the appointment. There was nothing wrong with that. Murong Qing's big eyes flashed cunningly. She was like a child. Humph. I'll trick you to death. You're probably fighting on the bed now, wahaha. Then Murong Qing couldn't help but laugh. She was indeed lawless since she was young. Now she was considered good. If it was in the past, why didn't he go to the appointment? Sorry, I'll blow up your house. Why didn't he go to the appointment? Chapter 487. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Lin Ye felt that it was quite believable. After all, she could roughly guess what was going on over the phone. They did indeed have an appointment yesterday. But you can't skip an appointment with a girl. You're not allowed to do this in the future. Lin Ye said softly. No, I'm talking business with her. We're not dating. You're not the first person I look for when I'm dating. Lin Xian grinned. Lin Ye's little face immediately turned red. Go, 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 hurry up and apologize to Miss Zhao's house. Then I'll go. Let's go. Following that, Lin Xian bought some pig head meat, green onions, chicken, duck, fish, and all kinds of vegetables and went to Xiao Runing's house. If Lin Ye knew about this, she would probably be furious. Didn't you say you'd buy some fruits to apologize? What are you doing? You're buying vegetables to make them cook. You're invincible. Lin Xian had already been to Xiao Runing's home once. Regarding the home of a beautiful girl as a man, his memory was still fresh in his mind. If a man had been to a beautiful girl's home, if he didn't remember, then was he still a man? Dong dong dong. Lin Xian knocked on Xiao Runing's door. The door was slowly opened. Xiao Runing in her home clothes stood in front of Lin Xian. Lin Xian. When Xiao Runing saw Lin Xian arrive, she still had a confused look on her face. My dear Ning Ning. Lin Xian grinned. Xiao Runing's pretty face turned slightly red. This bastard. When there was no one around, Lin Xian would definitely call Xiao Runing more intimately. Lin Xian raised his hands. His hands were slowly filled with vegetables. What are you doing? Xiao Runing took a look and was stunned again. Then, she let Lin Xian into her house. I'm asking you to cook for me. Lin Xian said straightforwardly. You're here to ask me to cook for you. Lin Xian put the vegetables on the ground and looked at Xiao Runing. No, I'm here to apologize to you. Apologize? Xiao Runing was stunned for a moment. Yeah, my little fairy said that I was drunk last night and hugged your date, so I'm here to apologize. Xiao Runing, kiss your sister. Xiao Runing couldn't help but swear. Ha ha, I just want to apologize to you. I'm drunk. I'm not blaming you. Have a seat. What would you like to drink? Anything. Xiao Runing took the opportunity to bring the vegetables to the kitchen. When she came out, she handed a glass of water to Lin Xian. You're here to say this. Xiao Runing sat across from Lin Xian and glanced at him. No. Lin Xian looked at Xiao Runing and said, I wanted to ask you to cook lunch. There's no room for me at home, so I can only come to Ning Ning's place to eat and drink. Xiao Runing was probably used to Lin Xian calling her that. And then, hee, how do you know there's something else? Lin Xian grinned. Xiao Runing secretly touched her forehead. If this guy was so simple, then he wouldn't be Lin Xian. What? Xiao Runing took a sip of water and asked, I'm here to whisper sweet nothings to my girlfriend. Lin Xian smiled. Girlfriend? Lu Yufan. They're not at my house. Xiao Runing slightly shrugged her shoulders and said, but my girlfriend is Xiao Runing. Xiao Runing. Cough cough. In the next second, Xiao Runing choked on her own water. You don't talk nonsense. Xiao Runing's beautiful face was dyed with a layer of red. She gritted her teeth and looked at Lin Xian. Did I say something wrong? My dear Ning Ning, don't tell me you want to go back on your word. Hi. Xiao Runing finally realized something. Lin Xian was first place in the Tianwu tournament. Damn. What's going to come will come. Right. I got first place in the Tianwu tournament, so my dear Ning Ning, shouldn't you fulfill your promise? Lin Xian said with a grin. In fact, Xiao Runing hadn't triggered the system's mission yet, so Lin Xian didn't want to take her down. He knew that he couldn't do it now, but it would definitely happen in the future. So, why not take this opportunity to get closer to Xiao Runing? Then it would be much easier to complete her mission in the future. Lin Xian was also drunk. The missions came one after another, making his scalp numb. He was so tired that he had to prepare for the future, afraid that he wouldn't be able to handle it. Yes. Xiao Runing's face was slightly red as she nodded. Then come. Lin Xian said with a grin. What are you doing? Taking off your clothes. Xiao Runing. In the next second, she threw her cup at Lin Xian, but Lin Xian easily caught it. Get lost. Xiao Runing glared at Lin Xian. Damn. Then you're my girlfriend now. Is there anything wrong with that? Xiao Runing stood up and said, First, girlfriends don't have to do that kind of thing. I'm your girlfriend now, but we're still in the middle of development, and we haven't even held hands yet. Second, I said before 1 day, no, 1 hour. I'm going to cook. Then Xiao Runing ran away. Wow. You're not shameless. Lin Xian was shocked. But it was nothing. Xiao Runing's mission hadn't been triggered, so Lin Xian wasn't in a hurry. This was pretty good. Then Lin Xian went to Xiao Runing's kitchen. What are you doing here? Get out first. To Xiao Runing, Lin Xian was a big bad wolf. She didn't dare to be in the same space as Lin Xian. I'm here to watch my girlfriend cook. Can you not say that? Xiao Runing's face was red. This side of her was really mesmerizing. Why? You're my girlfriend. Is there something wrong with me calling you my girlfriend? Whatever. Xiao Runing shook her head secretly. She wasn't used to it, but after thinking about it, it was just her and Lin Xian, so there wasn't anything wrong with it. If it was just calling each other names, it would slowly get better. Besides, it wasn't like they hadn't done anything more intimate before. Her first kiss had been cheated away by that bastard Lin Xian. Ah, ding! Miss Niez but, Prince Charming points plus 100,000. In the next second, Xiao Runing couldn't help but scream. You. Xiao Runing took a few steps back and pointed at Lin Xian. Her face was red with anger and she couldn't say anything for a moment. What's wrong? Lin Xian grinned. Get out. Xiao Runing said angrily. Okay, I'll go out, haha. Then Lin Xian walked out laughing. Phew. Xiao Runing took a deep breath. Shameless. Xiao Runing tried to calm herself down. This bastard was getting bolder and bolder. Really? This was the first time? No, to be precise, it was only in front of this bastard Lin Xian that she was embarrassed, teased, and taken advantage of. Most importantly, she couldn't get angry. *CK. Besides, Lin Xian seemed to have a good reason. What's wrong with me pinching my girlfriend's butt? So angry. Chapter 488. Lin Xian happily sat on the sofa and played with his phone. His heart was overjoyed. Xiao Runing, the goddess teacher in the school, his teacher, and now wahahaha. Soon, the sound of Xiao Runing cooking could be heard from the kitchen, followed by the smell of food. Soon, the dishes were brought out one by one. Lin Xian felt quite blessed. To be honest, in this day and age, there were very few girls who could cook, let alone cook so well. Not to mention they were both martial artists, and very powerful ones at that. To be able to find time to practice their culinary skills to such an extent, it was quite amazing. Let's eat. Xiao Runing brought a bowl of soup, then wiped her hands and said softly, "Thank you for lunch, wifey." Xiao Runing. This bastard. How did he change the way he addressed her? Lin Xian. I beg you to be normal. Xiao Runing wanted to cry but had no tears. She never thought that she would have such a day. What? Am I not normal? Lin Xian smiled and sat at the dining table. You call me something else. Wifey. Xiao Runing. Damn Lin Yang. Okay, I don't care about you anymore. Hurry up and leave after eating. Xiao Runing said. No, I'm not leaving after eating. I'm a bit sleepy. Accompany me for a nap. Xiao Runing. Unless you want to die. Xiao Runing said. Wah. Ning, is this how a girlfriend should behave? I won the bet, but you treat me like this. Lin Xian had a pained expression on his face. Okay, stop pretending. I'll accompany you shopping in the afternoon, okay? Xiao Runing said. Damn. I'm the one who's going shopping with you. Is it wrong to accompany my girlfriend shopping? Xiao Runing winked at Lin Xian slyly. Alright then. Obviously, it was difficult to take advantage of Xiao Runing. Lin Xian was too lazy to take advantage of her. After all, there would be plenty of opportunities in the future. Change WeChat, QQ, Weibo, and all other social media platforms to my profile picture. Xiao Runing. Why? Isn't it normal for a girlfriend to change her boyfriend's profile picture? You should be thankful that I didn't ask you to change our photo. How about we take a photo together? Don't. Xiao Runing wanted to cry. This Lin Xian was too infuriating. How would he explain this in the future? If it was Lin Xian's profile picture, what would others think? But there shouldn't be many people who think that they are a couple, right? Normally, this wouldn't happen. Who cares? A straight foot is not afraid of a crooked shadow. If she did not do anything wrong, she would not be afraid of ghosts knocking on her door. She was not the kind of person who would care about the opinions of others. Alright, then just return my selfie. I'll send it to you later. That's only if your selfie is normal. Hey, that's my selfie. Of course I have to make it look handsome. Xiao Runing heaved a sigh of relief. There's more. Xiao Runing pulled a long face. Why did she make this bet with Lin Xian in the first place? Post a status on your WeChat, QQ, Weibo, etc. and tag me. Then attach a picture of me and say that this is my boyfriend. Ask for blessings, please. 99. Xiao Runing. Big brother. I was wrong, okay? I beg you, my family, friends, and your sister Lingying Han Chushue, and the teachers at the school are all in my WeChat list. I will die. Xiao Runing broke down. Isn't this what a girlfriend should do? Lin Xian said seriously. Xiao Runing really had no way to refute him. That's right. What should she do? However, it's indeed a little difficult for you. If you don't want to do it, I can give you another choice. I choose another one. Xiao Runing said without hesitation. She was a teacher. If she were to tag Lin Xian and say something like that, the whole Tianhua city would be in turmoil. People would spread the news that Xiao Runing was dating her own student. Then Ling Ying and the rest would misunderstand. Of course she could explain, but there was still her own family. This was simply asking for her life. Then you can kiss me. Lin Xian grinned. Xiao Runing, I'll kiss your head. Then you can tag me and make me do it. Lin Xian shrugged and said. Xiao Runing, wow. She really wanted to kill this Lin guy. Give me another choice. Lin Xian said. But what's there to be afraid of? It's not like we haven't kissed before. Lin Xian grinned. Xiao Runing gritted her teeth and looked up at Lin Xian. Then I'll just go back on my word. Hey, Miss Xiao, if you go back on your word, I'll look down on you. For our bet, I've been trying my best to raise my cultivation level. I've forgotten to eat and sleep and almost died in the demonic beast domain a few times. I value it so much, but you want to go back on your word. Lin Xian was heartbroken. Xiao Runing bit her lips slightly. But your request? What's wrong with my request? Isn't my request something a boyfriend should have? Also, I've given you 2 choices. You can choose. Xiao Runing was going crazy. Alright. She took a deep breath. Lin Xian was right. It wasn't like they hadn't kissed before. The first kiss was the first kiss. The second kiss wouldn't be the first kiss, so it wasn't a big deal. Also, he didn't say anything. Then it wasn't a big deal. Then which one do you choose? Lin Xian grinned. The one behind. All right. Come on. Lin Xian said impatiently and then pouted. Graham. Finish your meal. Xiao Runing then lowered her head and ate her lunch with a red face. She really couldn't choose the former. She didn't care about what others thought, but if her family knew, it would be awkward. Also, it wouldn't be easy for her to explain it to her family. Only she knew the reason, so she could only choose the latter. Lin Xian was extremely excited. Within a certain range, maintaining the most intimate relationship and contact with a girl would definitely increase her favorability. Moreover, it would make the next step easier and easier in the future. Simple. Lin Xian could roughly grasp Xiao Runing's range. After all, they had kissed before. Lin Xian had also pinched her, but more than once. Their relationship was already very intimate. Also, Lin Xian had saved Xiao Runing's life. Xiao Runing was also Lin Ya's best friend. With all these added together, the range was quite large. Even if she was angry, she wouldn't be too angry and it wouldn't affect their favorability. Of course, she couldn't go overboard. I'll go wash the dishes. After eating, Xiao Runing ran to the kitchen to wash the dishes. It was as if she wanted to delay it for as long as possible. Lin Xian sat on the sofa and waited happily for Xiao Runing, the goddess-like girl, to come and kiss him. Come. Lin Xian saw Xiao Runing walk over and waved with a smile. Chapter 489. Lin Xian stretched his back as he walked outside. 5 million Andromeda points for this. He felt that it was not a loss. This was to prepare for the future. Now that they had kissed so passionately, there would not be much of a gap between them in the future. Once he triggered Xiao Runing's confession mission, things would be much simpler. Moreover, Lin Xian felt a little embarrassed. Then he would give her one. This was different from the Tianxing fruit. Lin Xian hesitated when he took out the Tianxing fruit because the Andromeda points he needed would double every time. In the future, it would double to an unimaginable level. However, the attribute increasing potion had always been like this. 5 million Andromeda points. Let's go find little Meow Meow. Lin Xian had nothing to do now. He planned to go play with little Meow Meow and thank Wang Qianqian at the same time. As for Murong Qing's matter, it would be at night. Lin Xian was not in a hurry. Lin Xian certainly did not think that she had any feelings for him. Since she was the executive of the Holy Sanctum, she must have come for the Holy Sanctum. Either way, she must be here for something. Normally, Lin Xian wouldn't have bothered with it because he wasn't interested in it. However, this damned system had triggered a mission for him to confess to Murong Qing. He couldn't take it anymore. The punishment was so exaggerated. Therefore Lin Xian had to go. As for the appointment, Lin Xian wanted to increase her favorability, nothing else. It was already 5 o'clock in the afternoon when he left Miao Xiao Miao's place. It was late autumn now and the sky was already a little dark at 5 o'clock. Lin Xian received a message from Ling Long Shui. She meant that she would be a guest at their house tonight. At the same time, Bing Lingyue would help Linya to recover her ice attribute physique. This made Lin Xian particularly excited. Although he wanted to go home and witness this scene together, he had to meet Murong Qing tonight. In fact, if the two of them were there, Lin Xian was completely relieved. Nothing would go wrong. If both of them were there, Lin Xian would be useless. Most importantly, Ling Long Shui had said that if Bing Lingyue were to help, she would definitely succeed. Lin Xian was relieved. He took out his phone and was just about to call Murong Qing when she called. "Hey! Where are you?" Murong Qing's unhappy voice came from the other end of the phone. It's not time for the appointment yet." Lin Xian awkwardly touched the tip of his nose. "Big brother, it's getting dark. I've already booked a private room. Can you come?" Lin Xian. If the people who knew Murong Qing knew about this, they would definitely widen their eyes. "What the hell? You're the executive officer of the sanctuary. It's fine if you call a kid big brother, but you?" Of course, those who knew Murong Qing would not think much of it. She was not serious at all. She even let her own group of subordinates call her queen. Anyway, she was lawless. She did not care about the so-called ways of the world or etiquette. She just did whatever she wanted. But she was really good to her subordinates. "I'll go over now. Where is it?" "Rose Heaven Lovers Hall." Lin Xian. "Big sister." "What big sister? Call me big sister," Murong Qing said with a smile. "That's a couple hotel." Lin Xian swallowed a mouthful of saliva and said, "Let's change it." It's because it's a couple hotel that I booked this place," Murong Qing said with a smile. Lin Xian. "Rose Heaven, 2 people dining, room fee free. Isn't it familiar? Wahahaha. I treat you as a big sister, but you want to own me." Lin Xian suddenly had a bad feeling. Could this woman be a succubus who ate people without spitting out the bones? He was the one who wanted to tease her, but he was the one who was being teased. *CK. He was a little scared. "Oh, you really only treat me as a big sister and don't want to do anything. I don't just treat you as a little brother." Lin Xian. Lin Xian swallowed a mouthful of saliva. *CK. What a succubus. "I'll go over now," Lin Xian said and hung up the phone. *CK. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose. Although he knew that this woman was doing it on purpose, she definitely did not have any thoughts about him. She was just saying it. Lin Xian obviously knew this, but it was the first time in his life that he was teased by a woman. Lin Xian was unhappy. Generally speaking, this kind of woman was more likely to care about her innocence. Although she looked unrestrained on the surface, she was actually very conservative. Of course, this was not necessarily the case. Lin Xian was not sure if this Murong Qing was really unrestrained or not. But the seductive aura she exuded was real. In other words, she was usually like this. But as for whether she was truly conservative or open-minded, that was something that no one could tell. Based on her personality, she should not be married and should not have a boyfriend. Otherwise, she would not be like this. Otherwise, how generous would her man be? Lin Xian muttered to himself. What was he most afraid of now? He was most afraid that his mission target, Murong Qing, was already married. He was really afraid of this. When he arrived at Rose Heaven, Lin Xian raised his head to look at the beautiful hotel. It was indeed beautiful. In Tianhua City, Rose Heaven was very famous. Moreover, it was a chain hotel. Basically, there were hotels in every city. With this special business model, Rose Heaven Hotel should be the most famous hotel in the whole of Sky Blue Planet. It had to be said that doing business depended on the brain. Because of the couple's hotel, the luxurious decorations, the slightly less expensive prices, and the fact that the couple's meals were free of charge, Rose Paradise was always full. Even ordering meals had to be made in advance. The big boss of this hotel was definitely the kind that made a lot of money. To be honest, in this era, those who dared to do business that had nothing to do with cultivation were all powerful people. "Hello, where is the lovers' hall?" Lin Xian asked as soon as he entered. Upon hearing Lin Xian's words, everyone turned to look at him in shock. Their eyes were filled with astonishment. Lin Xian was stunned. Why were these people so surprised? Excuse me, are you Mr. Lin Xian? A man in a suit walked over quickly. Lin Xian nodded. Yes. Please follow me. After that, Lin Xian followed him. Mr. Lin, I'm the lobby manager of this hotel. You can call me Xiao Zhao. If possible, I hope you can put in a good word for me in front of Sister Qing. Lin Xian glanced at him. You're 7 or 8 years older than her. Why are you still calling her sister? Cough cough. It's not nice to call her President Murong. Lin Xian was stunned. That's not right. Why would I put in a good word for him in front of Murong Qing? What was the point? The Holy Temple was involved in this matter. But why did he call her president? Chapter 490. Could this Murong Qing be the boss of Rose Paradise? Don't you know, Mr. Lin? Lin Xian. F***ck. This woman was a little too strong. No wonder those people looked at him strangely at that time. This Mandarin Duck Palace is the most luxurious suite in Rose Paradise. Every Rose Paradise hotel has a Mandarin Duck Palace, but from the moment the hotel was built, the Mandarin Duck Palace was not available because it belonged to Sister Qing. She would frequently appear in various big cities, so this Mandarin Duck Palace was prepared for her. Lin Xian. F***ck. This woman was something. Okay, I got it. As they chatted, the elevator reached the top floor. Just the decoration of the top floor alone was enough to make Lin Xian speechless. This top floor was simply heaven. Rose paving, colorful neon lights, swimming pool, gym, gaming room, private cinema. F***ck. This floor was simply heaven. It was just like a private villa. This woman really knew how to enjoy life. In front of a rose-colored door stood 2 beautiful young ladies. When they saw him, they walked over. Mr. Lin. They bowed slightly to him. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose. Should he give them a tip? He didn't know. Then, Lin Xian followed the 2 girls and they opened the door for Lin Xian. Please. Then Lin Xian walked in. Wow, Lin Xian looked around the huge room. It was dazzling and beautiful. He had seen the news before. Some 5-star hotels had special suites that cost 100,000 yuan a night, just for one night. Lin Xian didn't believe it, but when he personally came to such a place, he felt that he could believe it. This room was very big, probably close to 1,000 square meters. There was even an indoor swimming pool and all kinds of beautiful things. There was even a huge bed covered with roses. Lin Xian. He had thought that this was just a room for eating. Why was there a bed? F***ck. Lin Xian subconsciously tightened his belt. Coming. A voice came from behind the beautiful curtain. Lin Xian then walked over. There was a rather large table there. Even the table was huge and beautiful. Anyway, once they entered, all they could see was money. F***ck. Lin Xian saw Murong Qing turn around and subconsciously took a step back. What was this woman doing in her pajamas? What happened? Murong Qing laughed. I am fine. Lin Xian walked over and sat opposite Murong Qing. She had already poured the red wine for Lin Xian. Lin Xian sat down and drank the red wine in one gulp. Look at the dishes on the table. Do you like them? Murong Qing's beautiful watery eyes didn't move away from Lin Xian's body for even a moment as she spoke with a faint smile. Anything is fine. Lin Xian glanced at her and then looked at the favorability rating. If it wasn't for the fact that the favorability rating was only 10, Lin Xian would really believe her nonsense. This woman was obviously here to confuse him. When the time came, she would reveal her intentions. Lin Xian couldn't fall into her trap. He had to stay calm. Thinking of this, Lin Xian casually picked up his chopsticks. Try it first. After eating, go take a bath and then we'll go to bed. Puff. Lin Xian almost spat out the food in his mouth. Big sister, stop fooling around. Lin Xian said helplessly. Call me big sister, not big sister. Murong Qing laughed. Oh my god. This woman. However, Lin Xian knew that she was just joking. It was impossible to reach that stage. Even if Lin Xian touched her now, she would probably get angry. She was just acting like this on the surface. The food here is really good. After Lin Xian calmed down, he felt more relaxed and focused on eating. He had to admit that the food here was really good. Of course. Otherwise, how could it be a 5-star couple hotel? Murong Qing said with a smile. I have to bring my girlfriend here someday. Lin Xian said faintly. Murong Qing. You have a girlfriend? Lin Xian nodded. Yes, there are quite a few. Hey. Then Murong Qing couldn't help but laugh. Then you're really great. It's okay. Fortunately, my cultivation level is still okay. Otherwise, my body wouldn't be able to withstand it. Then I wonder if you can withstand me tonight. Murong Qing's mouth curved into a smile. Lin Xian raised his head and looked at her. I'm not interested in you. Thank you. Murong Qing. She really wanted to kill someone. Men are all like this. On the surface, they are not interested in you, but in reality, they are already fantasizing to a very deep extent, right? Lin Xian. Sister, have you been with a lot of men? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Murong Qing was stunned when she heard Lin Xian's question. Then she couldn't help but laugh. Nope. Sister, are you married? Lin Xian asked again. Nope. I'm still a virgin. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. Believe it or not. Lin Xian didn't understand either. This kind of thing was hard to say. Logically speaking, with her status and appearance, as long as she was conservative and didn't meet anyone she liked, she would definitely be a virgin. But who knew what kind of person she was? That's great. Lin Xian said and continued to eat. Murong Qing. That's great. Was this guy a topic terminator? Didn't the results of her investigation say that this Lin Xian was a little Casanova? He was surrounded by all the famous school beauties in Tianhua City. How could he do it if he didn't have something? But when she said these 2 sentences to Lin Xian, she didn't feel that this guy spoke differently. On the contrary. She even felt that this Lin Xian's attention was more on the food. Murong Qing didn't say anything. Lin Xian didn't say anything either. He just focused on eating the delicious food. Murong Qing really couldn't stand it anymore. Lin Xian laughed in his heart. Little guy. He had nothing to ask Murong Qing for, so the only one who was anxious was Murong Qing. Although he had a mission, it was obvious that when facing a woman like Murong Qing, teasing her was completely ineffective. If it's not enough, I'll ask the chef to add more. Murong Qing said faintly. Enough, enough. Let me tell you, just for this meal of yours, I haven't eaten all day. Lin Xian started to talk nonsense again. Oh! Murong Qing raised her eyebrows. Whether she believed it or not, it didn't matter. The 2 of them then chatted about their daily lives. Lin Xian didn't stop eating the whole time. Murong Qing only drank a little red wine and didn't eat much, but the whole table of delicious food was almost emptied. Burp! Lin Xian burped, wiped his mouth and looked at Murong Qing. Thank you, sister, for your hospitality tonight. When will I treat you? I'll leave first. Sister, rest early. Chapter 491. Murongqing froze for a moment. Leaving just like that? That's not right. She didn't come here just to treat Lin Xian to a meal. This guy actually wanted to run away after eating her meal for free. Hey! Murongqing called out to Lin Xian. What? Lin Xian scratched his head with an innocent look on his face. Of course, Lin Xian didn't want to leave. He just guessed that Murongqing was looking for him for something. That's why he said that after leaving, Murongqing would definitely ask him to stay and then talk about her purpose. This was to let Lin Xian take the initiative. If Lin Xian foolishly asked Murongqing why she was looking for him, that would be the stupidest thing to do. Whoever took the initiative to talk would be the one in the passive position. Murongqing of course thought the same. That's why she didn't mention her purpose during the entire meal. She just waited for Lin Xian to ask. However, what made her angry was that he kept chatting about daily life and didn't ask. Could it be that he really thought that she came here just to treat him to a meal and chat about daily life? No. According to her investigation, Lin Xian should be a very smart person. If a person wasn't smart, how could he create so many topics in Tianhua City and even find evidence of a hidden person like Qin Shaotian? Could it be that he was pretending? Look at his innocent look. *CK. This guy was pretending. Murongqing was extremely unhappy. *CK. But she still had to treat this guy like an ancestor. Sure enough, there was nothing good about them. But it was strange. She didn't have any attraction to him. Logically speaking, a man would lose his mind in front of a beautiful woman. Sure enough, he was a somewhat strange man. Pretty sister, is there anything else? Lin Xian asked again. Murongqing came back to her senses. That's it. Lin Xian. Then Lin Xian sat back down. Actually, you also know that I specially came from Tiandu this time. Firstly, I wanted to see the movements of the demonic beasts around Tianhua City. Secondly, I came for the rampant evil fiend temple nearby. Thirdly, I came for you. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose and asked, Can you find the evil divine palace? Murongqing was speechless. Was this person King poisonous? Normally, shouldn't she be asking about the part about him? I can't. Murongqing shook her head. That's a pity. Lin Xian shook his head. I know that you seem to have some kind of grudge with the evil fiend temple. Actually, I can give you a good suggestion. Murongqing looked at Lin Xian and said sincerely, What? Why don't you bring your sister and follow me to Tiandu? I will arrange a position for you with real power under my banner. First, it will ensure your safety. The temple can protect you, and second, you can display your talents. Lin Xian smiled in his heart. Win him over. No, Lin Xian felt that it wouldn't be that simple. Winning him over was definitely not the main purpose. Why should he be roped in by the holy temple? Pure space attribute. That's right, he was qualified. But he wasn't qualified for the position with real power that Murongqing mentioned, especially in Tiandu. So she had other purposes. Letting him join the holy temple was just a better and more convenient way for her to achieve another purpose. A woman with the highest executive power in the holy temple. You dare to say that this woman wasn't smart? That was impossible. She would eat people without spitting out the bones. Lin Xian smiled and said, Uncle Qin has already told me that I don't want to join any force. Maybe it's possible I want to establish my own force. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Murongqing showed a surprised expression. Establishing his own force. To be honest, there weren't many people in the continent who said such words without being laughed at. Establishing one's own force was simple, very simple, but what was the point? If one's own force didn't develop to a certain extent, it would be meaningless. Not to mention that it was said by a brat. Why do you want to establish your own force? Do you know how difficult it is to establish your own force? Not to mention a large force. Even if you want to establish a foothold in your current city, the amount of energy and financial resources needed is incalculable. And it doesn't just require energy and financial resources. There are too many aspects, it's not as simple as you think. After so many years, the only ones that are remembered by name are the three major forces. Murong Qing looked at Lin Xian and said. Lin Xian shrugged and said, I'm just playing around. Murong Qing. Was this guy pretending to be dumb? Alright. She didn't want to beat around the bush with Lin Xian anymore. Lin Xian, it's not impossible for you to establish your own force. You have a unique advantage. Oh, pretty sister, what advantage do I have? Lin Xian raised his eyebrows and looked at Murong Qing. Before it was all nonsense, but now Lin Xian seemed to be a little interested. If you have the support of one of the three major forces, you can achieve rapid development. She was right, and Lin Xian also understood. But the three major forces supporting another force. Lin Xian wasn't stupid. Simply speaking, if he developed a branch, it would also be working for the three major forces. Lin Xian didn't want it to be like this. He wanted a place that completely belonged to him. He wanted everyone there to be trustworthy. They were willing to do things for him unconditionally. No, it couldn't be said like that. They were willing to protect everyone, and they had the ability to protect everyone. Lin Xian felt that it was enough. He didn't want to in the past, but now he was very eager. He didn't need the force to be big, as long as it could reach a level that he felt was enough. The information he wanted, the ability to protect him, etc. The level of the three major forces. It wasn't that Lin Xian looked down on himself, but in this world, there was no one else who could make a force as big as that. The three major forces were already set. Forget it, I was just kidding. Lin Xian said with a smile. Murong Qing. Damn it. Why did it feel so tiring to chat with Lin Xian now? Murong Qing took a deep breath. It's like this. I came here this time because I heard about you, so I came here on behalf of the Holy Sanctum's top leaders to discuss cooperation with you. Cooperation. When Lin Xian heard about cooperation, he roughly knew why she came here. Indeed, he only had this that could attract the attention of such a huge force. That was 3 types of potions. Attribute increasing potion, spirit increasing potion, and physique increasing potion. At Yi's birthday party, Lin Xian showed these potions. Naturally, these people would be interested. Murong Qing nodded. Yes, I know that you have 3 very special and powerful potions, and we need them very much. So we want to discuss cooperation with you. Chapter 492. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose. Murong Qing looked at Lin Xian seriously and said, You also know how terrifying it is to rely solely on the power of the medicine to raise a martial artist's physique, mental strength, and especially elemental power. And we humans are in a precarious situation right now. We need your formula. If we can develop it, it will benefit all of mankind and raise the strength of mankind to a whole new level. This is very exaggerated. You will also be recorded in the annals of history. Lin Xian laughed. What are you laughing at? Murong Qing looked at Lin Xian in surprise. Although she was seductive in her bones, it was obvious that she was serious. Lin Xian looked at Murong Qing and said softly, Pretty sister, I think you're right. As a human, of course I want to contribute to the human race. Especially when I understand how much benefit such a formula can bring me. I also want to make the human race stronger because it's useless if I'm the only one who's strong. When the demon beasts attack the human race, I'll still be treated like a rat on the street, but I can't do it. Why? Murong Qing frowned slightly. To be honest, I don't know what the formula is. This medicine was given to me by a fairy sister I met by chance. I helped her a little and she gave it to me. It wasn't much, just a little bit. I used it on my friends one after another. I couldn't help even if I wanted to. It's not that I don't want to help. Lin Xian looked at Murong Qing and said. Murong Qing didn't care if Lin Xian was telling the truth. She only cared about the medicine. Fairy sister. Half believing and half doubting. Perhaps there was such a thing. Because if there was no such thing, It would be hard to explain why an unremarkable person like Lin Xian would have such a medicine. But everything was uncertain. Wait, could it be the woman in the white dress that appeared in Tianhua Academy that day? I don't care about that. Murong Qing looked at Lin Xian and said, "How about this? If you have more, sell it to me. I don't need you to provide me with the formula. We will take it back and study the ingredients. Whether we can figure it out or not, the Holy Temple will show our sincerity." Actually, Lin Xian was quite tempted. Firstly, Lin Xian felt that they wouldn't be able to figure it out. After all, this was given to him by the Adonis system. Lin Xian had no idea where it came from. However, with the Adonis system's power, Lin Xian did not think that they would be able to figure it out. Therefore, he was still the one who possessed it. Even if the research was successful, to be honest, other than the attribute increasing potion, the other two were not too precious to Lin Xian. If Lin Xian could only use the other two methods in exchange for a huge profit, then he was willing to do it. Increasing spirit and constitution might be possible, but increasing attribute power. To be honest, even Ling Longshue's level could be improved, and what she needed was a heaven-defying spatial spirit treasure. This medicine could also improve her level, which meant that the materials needed to concoct this medicine were also heaven-defying. Even if they managed to develop it, it would be impossible for them to mass-produce it. It was even possible that there weren't many existences on this continent that could support the creation of heaven and earth spirit items. However, these things were hard to say. However, Lin Xian had an idea. Murong Qing saw that Lin Xian was thinking and said, "You don't have to think about it. This is definitely not bad for you. Indeed, if you're the only one who has this thing, then you'll have a lot of say, but you won't get anything. You won't be able to research anything. Just sell a small amount to others. Why don't you sell it to us? We'll buy a few bottles of your medicine at a patent level. As for whether you can develop it or not, that's none of your business. However, if you do develop it, you'll be repaying all the humans on this continent. Perhaps it'll be an important point for us humans to turn the tables." Lin Xian said in a low voice. "That's not a problem. However, I'll only give you vitality-increasing potions and spirit-increasing potions. You should know that we value attribute-increasing potions more," Murong Qing said as she looked at Lin Xian with her beautiful eyes. Lin Xian rubbed his chin, then raised his head to look at her and said, "I have my own ideas. You're right, this is for the sake of humanity. However, I'm a little selfish. To be honest, no matter how great the conditions that the Holy Temple can offer are, it's probably not as great as what I'm thinking. You're thinking of using your own forces to develop it." Murong Qing stared at Lin Xian. She was indeed a smart woman. That's right. It could benefit the entire human race. To be honest, although Lin Xian didn't really want to, there was a very important point. If the human race was overrun, and one day they lost their place to live and were all occupied by demonic beasts, Lin Xian wouldn't be able to do anything no matter how many medicines he had. Therefore, it was fundamental for him to make the human race stronger. Moreover, Lin Xian could get an amazing return. This was also an idea that he suddenly came up with. He originally had the idea of establishing his own forces, but in the current era, to be honest, establishing his own forces would only be a small guild for 10 or 20 years. A small mercenary group wouldn't be able to achieve anything, and might not even have any right to speak or sense of existence in a city. This was very normal. However, if Lin Xian had something that could make the entire human race go crazy, and only he could control it, monopolize it, and the entire human race would crazily want it, and the three major forces could only rely on him to obtain it. Then Lin Xian's position, sense of existence, appeal, and right to speak in the entire continent would be extremely great. Under such circumstances, he already had the capital to develop his own forces to a great extent. And Lin Xian had such a thing. Rather than letting Murong Qing buy it back for them to research, develop, monopolize, and control it, why couldn't he have it? If possible, Lin Xian would of course choose the latter. The difficulty was extremely high, and there might even be no possibility of success, but Lin Xian really wanted to try. Try to research this medicine. To be honest, it was very, very difficult. All the medicines, drugs, and other things in the market couldn't be made by just buying them and researching their composition, let alone gene medicine. This was both good and bad news. The good news was that if Lin Xian developed it and sold it to the entire continent, even if they bought it, they wouldn't be able to research it. Therefore, Lin Xian would still have a monopoly, and he would still have the right to speak. At the very least, he could still modify it. Changing the formula and so on would have the same effect, but they wouldn't be able to research it. The bad news was that Lin Xian might not be able to research it himself. However, since Lin Xian had this idea, it was also the only way to increase his forces to a greater scale, and to protect more people around him. Chapter 493. Murong Qing heaved a sigh of relief. She did not expect Lin Xian to be so ambitious. To be honest, she knew that if Lin Xian mastered the methods of these 3 potions and monopolized them, the other 2 potions would naturally be fought over. More importantly, with the genetic enhancement potion, he would be able to achieve many impossible things in a short period of time. She even felt that this was the only way for a newly established force to reach the scale of 3 major forces in a few years, or even in a short period of time. The mainland might even become one of the 4 major forces. If that happened, it would be troublesome. There were many, many troublesome points. Miss System, can this idea of mine be realized? Lin Xian and the Adonis system had a conversation in his mind. Ding. Host can trigger the mission reward of the gene enhancement potion formula. Lin Xian raised his eyebrows. In other words, he could do it. He did not even need to study it. As long as he had this mission, he would get the formula. This was the most difficult part. The rest of the manufacturing was a piece of cake. Is there such a mission? The Adonis system can change the mission reward of conquering Murong Qing to the gene enhancement potion formula. It will cost 10 million Adonis points. Do you want to change it? Lin Xian was speechless. Damn. The system had become more reasonable. 10 million Adonis points in exchange for this. It was not a loss at all. Because this was what Lin Xian desperately needed right now. Then can you change the other mission rewards? Yes. Then help me change the mission reward of conquering Ling Ying and Han Chuxue to the 3 gene enhancement potion formulas. Is that okay? Ding. Please confirm the change of the divine level skill Holy Glory to 3 gene enhancement potion formulas. It will cost 10 million Adonis points. To be honest, Lin Xian was a little reluctant. However, in his opinion, this might be a mission that could be completed in a short period of time. Moreover, Bing Lingyue's mission reward was the permanent completion of the ice and water attributes. Ling Longshue's mission reward was the complete completion of the space attribute. Ling Longyue's mission reward was the complete completion of the void attribute. These were all direct upgrades to him, and they were very, very big. Therefore, Lin Xian could only give up on the divine level skill. Although he was reluctant, Lin Xian felt that he wouldn't lose out. Confirm. Ding. Host has consumed 10 million Prince Charming points to modify the mission. Ding. Quest modified successfully. Lin Xian raised an eyebrow. It was as if everything had become clear. This system was too awesome. You can't figure it out. Murong Qing said softly. Even if you manage to figure it out, you definitely don't have the ability and channels to obtain large amounts of materials and resources. Lin Xian looked at Murong Qing and smiled. You don't need to worry about this. If I really can't figure it out, then I'll give it to you. Is that okay? Murong Qing said. It's better to give it to us now. That won't do. I want to give it a try. Besides, your holy sanctum is researching how to repay humans while I'm researching how to strengthen humans. Isn't that the same? Murong Qing smiled bitterly. They were the same, but the significance was different. One was the powerful temple. The other was the powerful Lin Xian. Although they were all human forces, no one wanted to see an existence that could stand shoulder to shoulder with the 3 major forces in the future. However, Murong Qing felt that the possibility was not high. As she said, Lin Xian could not possibly have the technological means or talents of the holy sanctum. It was impossible for him to figure out the formula. Secondly, resources and materials. Could he obtain them by himself? There were too few channels. It was impossible to compare with the holy sanctum. 1 month. If you can't figure it out in a month, I hope you can sell it to us. The holy sanctum will give you unimaginable returns. Lin Xian smiled and nodded. Okay, but if there's anything I don't understand, I don't know if I can trouble you at any time. Murong Qing nodded. Of course. Okay, then I'll go back first. I'm sorry to have let you come here for nothing. Murong Qing shook her head. It's not a wasted trip. Besides, I might stay in Tianhua City for a month. Alu. Murong Qing returned to her charming appearance. Because I'm interested in you, little brother. Lin Xian shuddered. Demonis. I'm leaving. Lin Xian quickly left. To him, this wasn't bad news because he still had the mission for Murong Qing. If she returned to Tiandu, Lin Xian really didn't know how to take her down or brush up her favorability. Murong Qing looked at Lin Xian's back as he left and muttered to herself. It was only a month. It would take her 3 days to come to Tianhua City from Tiandu, and 6 days to go back and forth. She might as well stay here and investigate the situation in the demonic beast domain. Also, she could observe this kid's progress. She thought that Lin Xian couldn't figure it out. However, she never expected that Lin Xian had a special system and even changed the mission. As long as the mission was completed, the mission reward would be the formulas of the 3 major potions. With the formulas in hand, the rest was materials and manufacturing. The manufacturing was negligible. This wasn't difficult at all. The most important thing was the materials. Therefore, to Lin Xian, the most important thing now was Ling Ying and Han Chushue's mission. Han Chushue. Lin Xian muttered to himself as he walked on the road. It was late, and it seemed to be more suitable to do something. Lin Xian also had nothing to do now. Murong Qing's side was like that for the time being. He didn't brush up on her favorability tonight, but he wasn't in a hurry. She said that she would be in Tianhua City for the whole month, so Lin Xian didn't have to panic. Do you want to try to woo little Chushue? There wasn't much time left for Han Chushue's mission. Lin Xian originally wanted to woo her, but now there was another reason. After woo her, he could woo both her and Ling Ying together. That was the premise. However, Lin Xian felt that there was still a lack of opportunity, right? Although it might be easier for his confession to succeed because he saved Han Chushue. But what if? What if the girl was reserved, or Han Chushue considered more things and rejected him? After the rejection, the next confession might take some time. Therefore, why didn't Lin Xian confirm the success rate? It might even be a good time to ask her out for a movie or something. Oh right. Didn't I make an appointment with Chushue to invite her out for dinner after the Tianwu conference? Lin Xian raised his eyebrows and looked at the time. It was only 8 o'clock in the evening. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock after dinner, then a movie 11 o'clock after the movie, close to 12 o'clock. Wasn't that perfect? When it was time to make a move. Then Lin Xian took out his phone and dialed Han Chushue's number. Hello, Chushue. Chapter 494. At this moment, Han Chushue was at home, hugging the quilt on her bed, hugging the big plushie and watching TV. It was probably because she was used to being alone. When she was alone, she didn't have much to do. She would watch some TV series and it would always be at night, but she would always turn off the lights. In fact, she preferred to go out during the day, either to farm monsters or to go to the academy. To be honest, she seemed very antisocial and cold, but sometimes she would try to go to places with more people. Tonight, Han Chushue had been waiting for Lin Xian's call because they had agreed to have dinner together. She hadn't eaten until now, but it was already 8 o'clock. Even if they had dinner together, it wouldn't be that late, so Han Chushue even thought that Lin Xian wouldn't call again. She even thought that Lin Xian was just joking that day. She was indeed very disappointed. She didn't think that she had no place in Lin Xian's heart. She wasn't that important. It was a bit ironic. In the past, she would never consider the feelings of any guy. But now, she had complicated feelings for Lin Xian. The phone rang. Han Chushua glanced at the caller ID, and her slightly dejected appearance instantly became energetic. Hello. Hello. Han Chushua actually seemed a bit nervous. Little Chushua, what are you doing? Lin Xian asked with a smile. What was Lin Xian afraid of now? He was afraid that Han Chushua and Ling Ying would be together. That would be super awkward. Watching TV. Han Chushua said truthfully. You're alone. Lin Xian confirmed. Yes. Why are you watching TV? Come out to eat and watch a movie, we agreed. What do you want to eat? Lin Xian's words almost didn't give Han Chushua any room to refuse. Anything is fine. Han Chushua seemed a bit flustered. Then come to the old place. I'll reserve a room there and wait for you. Call me when you arrive. Okay. Then Han Chushua heard the sound of the phone being hung up. She slowly put down the phone. And then she jumped off the bed and hurriedly picked out the clothes that she liked. Tonight, she and Lin Xian were going out to eat alone, and even watch a movie. How flirtatious. She knew it was very flirtatious, but she didn't know why she was looking forward to it. Super looking forward to it. I have to eat 8 meals a day. Lin Xian had booked a private room, but he felt helpless. Ling Ying, I haven't eaten anything all day. I've been waiting for this meal of yours. A man and a woman, two beautiful figures, came in. This old place was a very famous restaurant in Tianhua City. That's right, it was a simple restaurant. It couldn't even be considered a hotel, but it was very famous because all the home-cooked dishes here were incomparably authentic, and the prices were very cheap. Therefore, there were a lot of customers here. In the past, Linya liked to bring Lin Xian here. Linya and the boss also knew each other, so Lin Xian would basically give him 2 special rooms. Of course, later on, Lin Xian often brought his friends here, so they could be considered to have this privilege. Ling Ying slightly squeezed out a smile and said, There's no need for that, I'm just treating you to a meal. It may not be necessary for you, but for me, for your meal, I'm willing to wait for a week without eating. You're so beautiful today. Zhao Nanfeng looked at Ling Ying with appreciation. Ling Ying smiled bitterly. She didn't know why, but Lin Xian's figure inexplicably appeared in her mind. Compared to Zhao Nanfeng's bootlicking words, she preferred Lin Xian's, call me Baba. Lin Xian took 2 bottles of normal red wine from the front desk and turned his head to look. What the F***CK? Ling Ying. Why is she here? Lin Xian's first reaction was that Han Chushua couldn't have brought Ling Ying here, right? Then what's the point? Then he saw Zhao Nanfeng beside Ling Ying. Lin Xian obviously recognized Zhao Nanfeng. His second reaction was that he specially came here to look for Ling Ying. They know each other. What the F***CK? I've been cuckolded. This was Lin Xian's third reaction. Obviously, it was normal for a man to have such a reaction when he saw this scene. How should he put it? Although Lin Xian had a foot in several boats, and he had no right to criticize others, seeing this scene really made all kinds of emotions surge in his heart. No. Lin Xian shook his head. He was still relatively rational. Ling Ying wasn't that kind of person. Lin Xian understood Ling Ying very well. Even if she didn't want to be in a relationship with him, she would definitely communicate with him. So there was something else. There was still trust between lovers. Lin Xian trusted Ling Ying. As for whether Ling Ying trusted Lin Xian or not, how should she put it? Actually, she shouldn't use trust to explain their relationship. Trust that Lin Xian had a lot of other girls outside. Ling Ying wasn't stupid. Even if she didn't have any evidence, she knew that Lin Xian definitely had other girls outside. She didn't even need to think about it. She even allowed Lin Xian to chase after Han Chushua, so she could only say that she was tolerant of their relationship. She could only say that she trusted that Lin Xian was good to her. But whether or not he had second thoughts, she trusted that he had second thoughts. It was a bit unfair, but since she had already made her choice, what else could she do? Actually, the few girls who had confirmed their relationship with Lin Xian, Miao Xiao Miao, Wang Xintong, Lu Yufan, and Ling Ying, who didn't know that Lin Xian was a playboy. It could be seen from the beautiful girls around him. Which one of them didn't think that Lin Xian had some kind of relationship with other girls outside? Of course they all thought about it, but they didn't ask and kept it in their hearts. Perhaps it was because of Lin Xian's luck that he met so many good girls. Ling Ying was really helpless. It was late at night, and Ling Longshui and the others had come over to visit. She was eating happily at home when she suddenly received a call from Zhao Nanfeng. She wanted to go out and f*ck him, but when she thought of her father's words, Ling Ying held it in. At most, she would entertain him for 2 more days. It wouldn't be embarrassing when she went home. Moreover, they had known each other since they were young. She would treat it as entertaining an old friend. Of course, she knew that Zhao Nanfeng liked her, but she didn't. The most embarrassing thing was that she didn't want to say it out loud. She had indeed rejected him many times, but this Zhao Nanfeng was like a sticky candy. She couldn't do anything about it. Her family liked him a lot, especially her father. He was very satisfied with him, so what could she do? She was also very desperate. She also wanted to tell Zhao Nanfeng that she had a boyfriend, but her father called and told her that if she dared to say it, he would send people to kill Lin Xian. Ling Ying was also very desperate, okay? You're tuning in to the Whispers of Romance YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.